Hey guys, I should be live now. Let me know if the sound is good. I think picture looks amazing. I'm just gonna check if I have anyone answering me for. Yeah. So I send a message to Devon. He knows that Kalina is not coming. I also talked with some other guys, but no one really answered my invite. So the sea is not far, so there's a lot of seagulls here. So because of the whole situation, how it is going around in audience, I think it's at this point gotten super disgusting. And Devon made a good point coming on to Fix episode yesterday, where he was like, "What is my involvement in all this?" And I wanted to bring someone for a nice discussion where, if they have some valid points, maybe Devon can hear them out, and if the points are not valid, then we also will understand it. And then maybe the person also will understand it if the points are not valid. Is it really about Devon at this point? Because I think it's gotten so disgusting and so out of hand. It's just it's really bad. It's really bad for the future of arm wrestling. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I texted Devon. So you guys like listen. I'll talk with you guys and I'll answer you guys. We can discuss it. If Devon comes, then the only if you like straight away for the mods, we if I'm gonna answer like $10 super chats because it's probably gonna get insane and gonna be crazy. But I can say like this. So yeah, we'll do it. So Devin is texting me right now, and I said like, listen, you don't have to come on because there's no one really to debate, and there's no one really to talk to. And at this point, it kind of says everything. So is it really about Devin, or is it really just, you know, is Devin really causing the problems, or people are looking very emotionally at these problems and conducting that is Devin's fault by some kind of means, yet they cannot present it. So I really hope someone will come on. Let me make. What do you guys? What would be the text? Let's say is okay. Free invite. No, join. Tell me how it's Devon's fault. Fault? Fault? How to write that? Not fault. Yes, I know how to write it. Yes. Yes. So this is I'm sorry guys, this is not for everyone. This is for um this is for the probably the athletes that went against them. And like I can understand a lot of the issues and I understand a lot of the problems and I sympathize with a lot of the problems, but I think it is very unfair and it's very misleading putting Devin in all these positions when he has been here from the go doing the same thing. I don't see anything uh, different, you know. Um, Listen, if no one comes on, Jake, if you're not asleep or you're already woken up, maybe you can join. Uh, but yeah, I will happily explain. Yeah, I wanted some of the athletes that left, and so Kalina made also post on Instagram. I think if I don't know, like, do you guys want me to explain what he said? Because he said it was in Russian, but in like that explanation, like I understand it. He called me and we talked, and I was like, okay, I understand it. It's fine. And he kind of made a point where he knows he's making emotional arguments where Devon is really not at fault, but it's a side effect of the things that are happening. Yeah. Let me check. Okay. Where's Kalina? I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna try to translate as best as I can.
Итак, ребятки, сегодня должен был быть стрим с Девоном Лараттом, но стрим отменяется, его не будет, по ряду причин его не будет, потому что я не хочу давать возможность Девону Ларатту оправдать себя. Вот, учитывая его манипуляции, он будет пытаться как бы это сделать, выставить меня дураком. Это раз. Второе, это почему он будет пытаться выставить меня дураком, потому что он будет говорить, что он ни на что не влияет, и его сейчас стратегия говорит, я здесь ни при чем. Типа Роберт всем управляет, и, грубо говоря, он перекидывает все на Роберта. А по сути Роберт главный, и он, да, решает, что и как, куда идти, и Девон Ларратт может сказать, я вообще просто, типа, советник и все остальное, и тем самым оправдать себя. И следующее, я записал вопросы, которые я хочу там...
So, like, Kalina pretty much said, like, if I get Devon here, Devon's gonna make me look a little bit like a stupid because of the things. He will push all the things to Robert, where he says, like, I'm not in charge, Robert is in charge, and so it will, like, he will, like Kalina said, he will manipulate the situation for that. Pradeep also wants to come on. We'll see if I can get Pradeep here. I think we haven't done anything in a long time. Listen, guys, I know everyone's really excited about drama. I just think it's gotten so ugly and so unbelievably stupid where it lost its point. I am asking the people in charge of EVW make a decision and move along. We've been waiting and we don't know what's going to happen. You know, we've been waiting and we don't know what's going to happen. When is the next event? We know Brian Shaw Classic will happen, but is there new matches? Everything, like, everyone's been on a pause, or make a deal with Engin where, you know, like, just make a just move along. I think we need to move forward. It's been close to 3 weeks, and you know, I'm not here to shit on anyone. I want people to understand each other. You know, people can hate each other, but if there's valid hate, and then there's people that will hate for just hating, and I can't respect that. If you just hate for hating, you know, like, there's no point. If you have no other valid point than I just don't like you, then it's just absolute and fucking bullshit, and everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. I think so many things are coming to light at this, and it's not good. It's not good for the athletes, for the spectators, for everyone involved. It's getting ridiculous. I got really pissed today. By some things that I read, what I saw. I think we are moving in a very fucking wrong direction. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel it. I feel like today is the things that happened with me in EVW, like you know, like, that was bad for me, but just for me. This is bad for everyone. I think a lot of people, because they don't understand the situation, or they doing emotional decisions and not decisions that are good for them or the sport. Ray, please invite Boromir to the chat. Who's Boromir? Yeah. So yeah, Kalina made like 6 points, all there in Russian. I can read them and translate them, and he said, like, these points are just like number one, we don't want change of the rules. Like, I understand it. They don't want to change the rules for, you know, whatever. Understandable. I think a lot of things could be improved. Rules are fine now. Enforcement of the rules is not fine because it's not consistent. That's what I think. But yeah, we don't want to change the rules. But again, like Devon will say, like, how am I changing the rules? You know, and he's really isn't doing anything else that he hasn't been doing for last 15, 10 years for all the events, You, Ray, is part of the problem because you are not transparent. Sitting on a fence won't solve anything. Why Engin is allowed to do all wrongdoings without any consequences? How am I understand I'm trying to be fair, but didn't I call out Engin for making this and this being a terrible thing to do? I think there's so many things that are absolutely wrong with this. But for me, like, which side am I taking? Like, I can't really take a side because I'm not involved. I'm taking a side of arm wrestling. I'm sorry if some people will get offended. I'm taking a side of arm wrestling because I'm not involved. We'll leave Kalin alone. Because I'm not involved anymore in EVW, I don't make any decisions. I have zero say. All I can do is just think, talk, and be pissed about it. How people are destroying the thing that I love, the thing that I helped to build. Right? Where am I on a fence? If I'm trying to explain when people from Europe what is their issues, and then I'm trying to explain how we can fix those issues and what are the reasons. Like, how am I on the fence? Did I don't take a strong stance? I'm standing this, or I didn't make a post saying like, oh, I'm with Engin, and if Engin doesn't do a league, I'm not on that league anymore. That's me being on a fence when I'm trying to find the middle ground and trying to find the thing that unite us, not divide us. I'm sorry that people see everything black and white. Also, I don't like to trash people. I don't like to talk shit about them. I don't like to do those things. I'll say things that are needed, but I'll try to stay. If no one has noticed, I'm trying to be nice with everyone. I'm trying to find and figure things out and whatever, I'm just not a mean person. So I try to stay away from those things. Yet I will call out bullshit where bullshit is needed to be called out. Do I think Devon is manipulating the rules and cheating the rules? In my own perception, yes. And yet at the same point, why has no one done anything about it? Why they were in charge? So probably no. I am wrong because the results speak for themselves. So, I don't know, guys. Yeah. Ray, the most egregious offense is the attempt. Why you don't discuss it? Because I don't know if that is real. Because I don't know if that actually absolutely happened. I'm not convinced on that. I have said some things when I'm angry to some people where I said like, yeah, I will, I didn't mean it. I just said it. So there was, did that happen? Did that happen fully? I'm not completely convinced. I know a lot of people think that happened, but I haven't seen anything to think otherwise. Same as I heard a lot of things from Devon about Devon. I haven't seen any of those things, so I'm not absolutely convinced or anything. Yeah. I said to Hermes, if he wants to come on. This is an open invite. Like, guys, if anyone has something real to discuss, but all they talk is on internet. All they talk is on their posts, on their walls, and they're just trying to attack for no reason. And I'm like, please, if there's validity to this, get on here, talk, and we can see what the facts are. If the facts are right, I always lean with the facts. I'm sorry, I can't follow something blindly. I have to lean with the facts. We'll see if Devon wants to come on or something happens. It was another super chat. Devon is a scapegoat because of his poor treatment of certain opponents. The East is concerned without Engin involved, they will not have any representation and fear Devon's influence in moving forward. So, this is a excellent bullshit point in my opinion, and I'll tell you why. So, all the bad treatments and things that were done, cool. Who was in charge then? Why was nothing done to it? I said this, I have discussed this many times with the people in charge, and I said like there should be consequences to any action. If there's no consequences, people will do what they want. Referees will do what they want. Athletes will do what they want. Everyone will do what they want, and if there is no consequences. Oh, Devon actually joined me.
Hey, so nobody wants to say anything.
Nobody wants to say anything. I think that speaks volumes, right?
I mean, you
That's
called me, you messaged me this morning. How did that go? Kalina wanted to say something. What was all this about?
yeah. He wanted to do, but then he actually posted everything on his stories. He write down like six.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't look at all of it.
yeah, and then he called me. He's like, while I was doing, he's like, I know this is emotional more than it is factual. And I said,
Okay, good. So settled. So okay, that's good. So I mean, look, I understand that it's a turbulent time for all of us. It's a period of change, a major change. You know, Engin has been the rock at East versus West forever, and that's changing, and a lot of people are freaked out.
I loved, like, I'll be honest, like, I got pissed off because I think it's just
Oh,
unfair,
I've
unfair
been super
treatment.
pissed, dude. I'm not an angry person at all. I've been pissed this last week, really upset.
Because I feel like everyone's aiming at you for no reason, for their
I'm just
person.
curious. Like,
Yes, for
I would just like,
personal reason, for
yeah.
emotional reason, not factual reason. I want to hear facts. I want to hear
I ask
all.
all,
Yeah,
all the top guys I've messaged, like all the guys who were like in the top, few in the sport, who are dropping out or who are directly involved. I'm like, tell me what I did wrong. Tell me. None of them can tell me.
yeah. They
None of
can
them.
say
Nobody can tell me what I did
emotional
wrong.
things. They can say
It's
emotional things. They didn't like it. They didn't like the treatment how you did with Petrenko. They didn't like this. They didn't like.
yeah, but
Okay,
but what justifies leaving the league? Like that happened a while ago. Why are you leaving the league? So what does this have to do with leaving the league? Just because is my bad acting in the league so bad that you don't even want to pull in the biggest league that there is, where like the best guys fight? Is my association with the league so toxic that everybody has to leave? Is that where we are? That I'm so
it's crazy.
vile that no one will even arm wrestle me?
Yeah,
It's great. It's great.
yeah. It's just, for me, it's kind of amazing because
It
right
is
now
amazing.
I see they're attacking the character, nothing that has anything to do with arm wrestling, which is insane to me. And I feel very pissed at these people because they at this point I don't think they fucking understand what they're doing.
It's it's weird, you know. I've gone through all sorts of steps in my head. I was really mad. I was like, they're being led astray. I've been outspoken with my use of the word retard. I've said retard a lot. Um, I've wondered, and then I went into a period of self-reflection. I'm like, okay, maybe it is me. Have I done anything? Um, I've asked. This is kind of where we are now. Because I've been accused so much, and I'm trying to even just to get clarification on why. What am I being accused of? I don't even know what the accusations are. All I know is that people are saying it's between Devon and Engin, and I'm like, what? What is between me? Please tell me why my name is even in this conversation. And I can't seem to get an answer. All I know is that it's pretty hot right now. And whatever, like I think it's all pretty funny. Like really all I think about is just arm wrestling, and if Vitali's going to get his visa, or if Hermes needs like 6 months to face me, or if Kurdecha still is beaten down, or if Morzov is afraid. Like everybody's afraid of me. I'm a 50-year-old dude, Ray. I'm 50 years old, and I say some words to people. And Rudnick, oh my God, don't even get me started on that. God, what a loser. Thank you, Rudnick, by the way. Thank you. You've helped me tremendously. Wonderful. Um, anyways, people, attacking me, attacking my family, like I think, I'm flattered to a certain degree. I'm flattered, that somehow I've become this force that is so powerful that it polarizes people, and makes them say things that are self-damaging. They hate me so much that they would hurt themselves to hurt me.
That's
That's
crazy.
what I see. I see like the thing that we all built together, and they're pointing at me and they're burning themselves and burning down the league and burning their own careers. They're quitting because of me. Because of me. Is that what it is? Is there anybody like all these allegations are just false, right? Like this is all just going to blow away. Is there anybody who wants to actually tell me what I did wrong in the comments, even because I can't see the comments, right?
I'll check. I'll check. Okay, I read one that I'm also. Devon is scapegoat. Would love to see them. Let me check. I'm gonna restart everything. Man, it's just like for me, I at this point I just can't. I was trying to find the middle ground. Everything. More I see, more I pissed I get because it's
It's
just bullshit. It's
there's
just
so much.
and
I'm gonna be
it's
I'm gonna be honest.
absolute manipulation with
Yeah,
everything.
and that's the thing. It makes me mad. Like Ray, I'm in the same boat as you. I think. To me, I'm angry because from my perspective, where I see things, there are people acting incredibly dishonorably. Like people are outright lying. People are making things up, and they're not just. They're having effect on the sport. This entire Baku thing, this entire way that the Baku event was taken, was reinstated. Now what's going on? I see them still posting that it's on, and like, what is going on? Like, I think that there's just games being played all over the place. There is no clarification. To me, I've used the word criminal. I have over the course of the last couple of weeks. I've said I think that people have behaved criminally. I've said that I think people should be sued. Um, and we could go further. I have no interest in that, but the truth is that I'm kind of done with the whole. Um, if I'm fine with keeping things buried. I don't mind. I bury a lot of things. But ultimately, I'm not afraid of anything. And, I always prefer transparency. And I just think that there's a lot of things right now that need a little bit of sunlight. You know, we're going to move forward. For me, it's not
So
complicated. Just tell me who I'm facing. So nobody wants to debate this, right? There's nobody.
no. So
Okay.
one of the comments is Engin claims Devon tried to manipulate Robert and EVW management against him for months because of his bad relationship between him and Devon.
Listen, at every single opportunity, I will speak my mind honestly and openly about anybody you want to talk about. You want to talk to me about Engin? I will be open and honest and transparent about everything I believe. Okay, anybody wants to ask me questions, especially someone in a management position, I'll tell them what I think. Yeah, yeah. So to say that I actively went one way or another is hilarious. Robert and Dexter are very successful business owners. Okay, and Robert has an incredible grasp on arm wrestling. He's known these people for 35 years. Okay, he has long-standing relations. I'm not telling him anything that he, one, doesn't already know, or two, hasn't heard a million different times from a million different people. Okay, I have known Robert for probably, I don't know when I met him the first time, but long before we were affiliated with East versus West, and he's a friend before he's my boss. He's both things. Okay, and what's that? Yeah, and the terrible thing that a lot of people aren't talking about is that that's the thing that I find super super dishonorable. Okay, and this is something that repeats itself. Robert was Engin's good friend. He Robert loves arm wrestling. He he has many businesses. He's a business guy. It was a joke for years. John Brzezinski used to tease Robert. He'd be like, when are you gonna get into arm wrestling, Robert? And it was kind of a joke because he knew, like, business wise, it's a disaster, you know. And Engin was Robert's friend, his good friend. Robert saw that Engin was sick. Robert saw that this whole thing was making him sick, and he went to help him as a friend. Not like he was like, oh, I'm going to buy East versus West, and nothing like that. He went to help him as a friend. He actually didn't even go to, he went to help him broker a deal. It was Engin who said, I trust you. I want you. If I'm going to sell to anybody, it's going to be to you. And Robert, being an incredible guy in the sport, decided that he'd take it on. And I feel like, from an outside perspective, everything that I've seen, I feel like Engin has bit him. You know, Engin has taken what the community is doing together, and he's damaging it. And listen, I shouldn't talk. I shouldn't talk because really, all I want to do is build. That's all I want to do. And I don't want to work with people who bring a team down. I don't want to do it. So yeah, if somebody wants to talk to me, I'll say what I think. But that doesn't have any influence. Robert's a big boy. He makes his own decisions. You know?
Yeah.
Smart guy, okay? Doesn't have to listen to me. I'm one person.
Man, I think this whole, like, these narratives that are going around, they will very soon backfire, because I think people are not stupid, and they will figure it out.
And another thing that's being pushed, which is, you know, and look, I'll just admit to it. Like, Engin's making this thing about Devon asked for a gun. Devon asked for a gun. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I did, because anytime I received,
You were concerned,
what's that?
right? You were
Yes,
concerned.
yes. Listen, if I don't like to fucking carry a gun. I did that for my whole life. I don't go to the range. But I'm pretty comfortable. And if I'm getting death threats, I'll carry a gun, you know, preferably. I would much rather have a gun than not. If I'm actively receiving threats, which I believe might have some validity. Like, sometimes they're not, 95% of the time, there's nothing to worry about. But every once in a while, yeah, there's a legitimate threat. We do a little bit of investigation, and it comes back that, yes, there might be some actual credible threat. So yeah, I've asked for a pistol. I've been at venues with pistols when I'm permitted. So, but I don't want to do that. I hate that. You know, I hate traveling where I think that I'm gonna have risk of physical harm done to me. Do you think I like that?
No.
You know? No. It's terrible. It's
We
terrible.
don't expect it. We think we're gonna be all with the friends and
Right.
people that like the stuff that we do.
It's not always like that for
This
me.
is arm wrestling. This is arm wrestling, guys.
I know.
No.
But there are people now. We have a lot of people, and on that spectrum, there are people who actually legitimately want to hurt me. You know, and they do one degree or another. I've had people show up at my house. We've had police involved many times with different things. So this is an unfortunate reality. So, anyways.
Can I ask? So, would you, let's say, scenarios go like this, okay? Engin leaves, you are still in the league. Would you be okay if you would not be involved with the making of rules in any capacity?
So no change then.
No, like,
It's in my car.
no. Like, maybe the change will come, but there's a committee for it, let's say.
That's great. There should be a committee. And Ray, here's the thing. Okay. I am actually in every single committee. You are in every committee. Everybody is in every committee. Why? Because we don't live with a fucking muzzle on our mouth. Okay. If I want to
We
say
talk all the
something,
time. Yes.
I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
I don't have to be in a committee. You know, if what I say makes sense, the committee can push it through. Don't ever think I'm going to stop talking, but no, I don't have to be on any committee. And I don't want to. And it's in my contract that I can't be.
You can't have any rules or references.
Yeah, I can't. In my contract, I cannot have any influence on referees or rules. It's in my contract.
Well, see, that's the thing that should have been first thing to say. Like, guys, I can't. This is in my fucking contract.
It's in my contract. I have no influence, no authority over. I don't even fucking read my contract.
Referees or rules.
Referees or rules. Yeah. So everything is just a whole bunch of crap that's spun up, and that's why I get mad, because I feel like somebody sold a company and tried to damage it. I'm not happy about it. I think it's terrible behavior. From my perspective, this is what I see. Like, look, if I was Robert, I would have sued him. I would have sued him, and I would have played hardball. And I know I'm on the other side, and everybody's like, "Oh, we need to take care of Engin." Engin tried to make you all leave. That's what I think. From where I'm sitting, it sure looks like he tried to make you all leave.
He certainly didn't tell me to go back.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think he encouraged anybody to rejoin for the love of arm wrestling. Like, he was pretty happy sharing stories about how it was, you know. Anyways, look, if anybody wants to talk to me, I'm here. Okay, I'm always going to be transparent and open. If someone wants to talk to me, accuse me of something, all I want to do is fight. I don't really care about that much else. You know, there's lots of things going on in the world. I like to arm wrestle. I don't even know if I'm going to get to, like, I think Baku's canceled.
There's one from Eric Paplaya. How is contractual situation? Is there a possibility to reactivate WL? The Eastern guys might quick change their mind when they have to get back to 9-to-5 jobs without Devon as a cash cow.
I have no plans of leaving East versus West. WAL, that was around, like, so I talked about this the other day when I did a recap.
Mm-hmm.
WAL was coming back. I chose East versus West over WAL when it came to which contract I was going to sign. Okay, so WAL was on its way, because I believed in Engin. Actually, that's the main reason. And you know, it's interesting looking back, but look, I think we're just fine. I think we're really lucky to have Robert and Dexter, and I think that the team is absolutely salvageable. And understand, like, I respect Engin. Okay, I think Engin is probably, if he's not the most, he's certainly right at the top of arm wrestling historians. Like, the guy remembers everything. Like, he has a massive arm wrestling brain. I respect what he can bring to a company. He just can't be damaging. He can't destroy the team. You know? And I want to say another thing. A lot of people are like, you use the word we, you know, and that's right. I always use the word we. I try and say we every time I can instead of the word I. If I can say we with anything that's happening, I just feel a lot better, you know? Anyways, Jody's kind of coaching me over here. She's kind of telling me.
Like, listen,
because everybody's pissed.
I'm pissed.
Listen, everyone's talking about, like, bringing back 2 leagues or creating it. Like, that would be
Why?
terrible.
Why
That
would we do
absolutely
that?
terrible. We
This
don't
is,
need that.
guys, like forget politics. It's about the best facing each other. That's what sport is about. Look, I don't want to watch some baseball league where the best of Europe play each other, and I want to see the best in the world. And when I go to watch a sporting event, I don't want to see the best guys in North America. I don't want to see the best guys in Russia. I want to see the best in the world. And that's where we've gotten. To go backwards is a massive failure.
Yes, I agree. JR55 AMG. Devon got me to arm wrestling during COVID. Without him, I wouldn't be watching arm wrestling at all. I love the brotherhood, all portrayed. Sad that the most have to pick a side. What a nonsense. Much love to you.
We don't have to pick a side. Nothing has changed. Okay. The side is for arm wrestling. The side is for watching great matches. Anything that takes away from that, probably that's what you're not looking at. Just continue to focus on where's the brightest and best place that we can arm wrestle. Why would we have to change? Somebody who's, I don't care if it's Engin. If Engin wants, I'm sure Engin's watching. Engin, why don't you jump on over? Let's solve this. If you have a problem with me, let's talk about it. I'm sure he's watching. Yeah, but let's not hold everybody hostage. If you have a problem with me, just say it. I don't need to speak to you. Our talking doesn't really have anything to do with arm wrestling. But if you're using that as some kind of a tool to hold up the sport or to damage the sport, come and tell me what the problem is.
Yeah. Guy Lasorsa, it's ridiculous to blame Devon, especially after Robert's statement. Thanks to Devon, my son was inspired by his videos, started arm wrestling 13 months ago, and who just finished second to US ranked KZ beating.
Ooh, Guy Lasorsa. I met Guy Lasorsa's boy. I remember. I met him in Orlando, I think.
That's nice.
Yeah. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations.
So this is a good one from Louis Horvat. The fact that there hasn't been any consequences to any of the athletes or the staff speaks enough, or where it is. You cannot put friends before business. My personal opinion is large staff change must happen.
Look at what a good guy Robert is for not suing himself.
Yeah. And look at what a good dude Robert is for not suing. Because let me tell you, anybody with any kind of business should probably see that that's a very, very heavily reprimandable situation. And the fact that Robert is continuing to offer Engin contracts and everything, that speaks incredibly highly of Robert's character. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he has a lot of patience with all this situation, and I
probably out of all the people I've ever met in my life, the most patience.
Yes. It's the situation is like you would be in that situation, you would feel very screwed over, and I would be. I'm angry or not even involved, you know. I'm involved because I see my sport and the thing that I really love is being held hostage and is bleeding, and it's not just it's now
It's gonna be
it's
just
more
fine.
people doing it.
It's gonna be fine. I really know it is. This is just a period of turbulence. We have a major kind of leveling up that's happening, and and there's a bit of an incident, but overall, we have to be grateful for what Engin did create. He created all this, but we have to remember that everybody helped him. Engin was the figurehead that we surrounded, because we all
rallied without
yes,
with
we
him.
did. Yes,
Fully,
because we respect his knowledge, we respect his passion, we trust his integrity, and we rallied around him. There's a time for everything. The group is always more important than any individual. That goes for anybody. The arm wrestling sport is one of the most important things when you think about East versus. There's a lot of things important when it comes to the topic of East versus West. East versus West determines who are the best in the sport, in the world. That's its primary purpose, in my opinion. It is world level, high level arm wrestling competition, and that's its big gift. We've never had that in my career. I mean, I think we've touched it a couple times here and there, but not like this. So, anyways, buddy, I think this is a failed call out.
Yes, I think so too. So too.
That's good. That's fine. Look, I hope that Vitaly, you can come to the States. I was ready to go to Baku. Um, I heard there's no venue. That's what I've heard. I don't know what games are being played, but I've heard that there is nothing going on there that's going to be able to work.
You've been told that.
I've been told I'm not competing there. I've been told that Brian Shaw and we're just waiting on an opponent. Vitaly has priority. He has priority, and then it's kind of down the list from there. But yeah, good times.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna be here for a minute. If anyone joins, I'll text you. Okay.
okay. Thanks,
Okay.
buddy. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Yeah.
Bye, Devon.
Later.
Guys, I'm gonna read all the super chats that I missed or something because I put it up like because I didn't want to be overwhelmed and I didn't want to stop Devon at every 10 seconds because I know people are sending super chats and then they expect them to be read. I do appreciate all the support. I saw one of the comments from XAYC, Xaus or something, and he said, "How am I?" Let me find it. Let me find it. There's a lot of comments, guys. I see a lot of people here, but we'll see. Listen, one more time. Anyone wants to come and join? Text your favorite armor, tell them to join. If they have a bone to pick with Devon for real, let's get to the bottom of this. I want it all to be fixed. If they have a valid point, and it gets called out, it's real. Everyone knows it's real. At this point, I just see it all as a made up thing. XAYC. Why are you so sure that Engin was telling athletes to leave and it was not their own decision? You got upset when people blame you without facts, but you're doing the same thing. When did I say that? Did I say that? I said it looked like that. I didn't say it did. I haven't asked athletes. I haven't talked with anyone and asked about those things. It just like it was a very interesting that all of them made the statements in a very similar time in a very similar fashion. Like if it happened, I'm not accusing anyone. I just say it kind of looked like it from my perspective. But of course, I'm not making like I'm not going there and making claims that this is what happened. I don't think I have done that. I don't think I have done that. I haven't been to conversations where I say like, this was a coordinated attack and they do. There's a lot of things that point to it, but that's not what I'm doing because I have no messages to support that claims. So I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, that's if I said it somewhere, it's not actually what I think because I'm not sure for sure. Damn. Okay. Ooh, BMW Shogun. Okay. I can read now more because I'm alone here, so I have at least something to do. Engin threatened to end Ozzy, the Armwrestler, Devon, Uncle John, and blacklisted Ray, who was there from day one. It's all just bad. Devon is Armwrestling, the diligent student. Devon is Armwrestling. We all owe him a big thank you for all the tireless contributions for making the world a better place. Salute, champ. Whatever people say, this day that Devon leaves will change everything for Armwrestling. Will change absolutely everything for Armwrestling. This is we're on a different levels of height, But like guys, I could, I don't want this also to be just a stream for bashing Engin or attacking the Eastern guys or something. I wanted to fucking find a solution to these problems, and if at least point out to the people involved if there's no real problems, then where is the fucking problem? I'm just pissed about all this situation. People need to, man the fuck up, and they need to make decisions because they're making very, very weird decisions, in my opinion. Maybe I get Pradeep on. I haven't seen Pradeep. Yeah. Ray, stop being Larratt's poodle, please. Like, what am I doing? Like, how? How? When there's literally, I made an open invitation. And we all know this, and people are making some statements about this and this and this, and no one comes there. Who's in right? Who's in right? I understand people have their own perspective at things. I just like if I can hear those arguments and understand those arguments, I haven't heard those arguments. All I hear is emotional things that brings decisions. I just like I'm not like everyone knows. I said it to Devon. I'm not a fan of how he sometimes portrays himself in the match. I think it's somewhat disgusting. I don't like it. I don't like it. I have called him out. I have said it. We had conversations like this. I'm not afraid to say something to Devon where I feel I'm like like he was really let's say like this, not cheating, but like trying to get advantage really hard on a level that no one else got. Because if it was cheating, why there was no disciplinary action or, what is the word? What I'm looking for? Disqualification. Why hasn't been any of those things if it's cheating, right? If someone says like it's cheating and then there's no actions for it, is it still cheating? What the hell is going on? What are we talking about? I think, and my thoughts are my thoughts. I would do things differently. There would be actions taken. It's too bad you don't like those actions, but you understand what the actions will be. If someone is breaking the rules and you think they're breaking the rules and you're not doing anything about it when you can, is there still breaking the rules? I just think it's just absolutely weird things that are happening. Like I said it also, Levin shouldn't hit a referee. That should never happen. If we don't have a conduct on the ethics that we're going to do on the stage, then everyone will do what they want. It's becoming a crazy land. This is absolutely insanity where things from one side get called out, the other side doesn't get called out, and everyone's really emotional without being logical. I just think it's just... I don't have to like everything that Devon does to support him on these things. I don't give a fuck at this point. I think our arm wrestling is going going to be bad until people in charge make a decision. Everything is going to go to shits. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel it. I can't. I'm looking at WAF and EF or whatever and what they're doing, and I'm like, this is so far from arm wrestling. It's getting ridiculous. And now the whole conversation here is about Devon manipulating something. And that's the thing about arm wrestling, where it used to be about arm wrestling. I was happier when everyone was doing their pronation lifts at this point. Yeah. As you see, I'm really pissed. Probably will look. It doesn't matter, guys. I think Devon's popularity, BMW Shogun. I think Devon's popularity, influence, and voice is intimidating to those that do not share the same notoriety, and those people are misplacing their concerns. The concerns should be not losing a good thing. Yes, listen, really good statements on this one. First one, Devon's popularity, influence, and voice. Whatever Devon says resonates. Whatever Devon do, everyone trying to imitate. So it doesn't matter who he speaks to. He can speak to the guy that's been arm wrestling for 1 minute or the referee that's been in charge for 30 years. Some things will resonate because most people look at him as authority. It doesn't mean he is right. It also doesn't mean he is wrong because it's just his opinions. My opinions are also my opinions. And if I explain to you my opinions and you can say like, those are good opinions. So then we can make a statement, like we can come to agreement or figure each other out. But everyone's hating on Devon for just talking like everyone else does. It's just, I think he carries a lot of weight. He carries extremely a lot of weight because he is the most influential arm wrestler we have ever seen by a freaking mile. There's no, like whatever, doesn't matter who you say. No one has done what Devon does. And I think that carries a weight. And I actually had a conversation with Kalinchenko about this and I said it's aura. He literally has aura around him that makes people do things for him. That's just how I see it, you know. Exoslam, they're afraid of Devon's influence, but he has no control. He just speaks his mind. Every other athlete can do that too. He has no actual control. Like, this is a good statement, but his control might not be intentional. Just because he can say it better, or because he said it, he already has influence. And that I see a lot of people see as a lot of problem. A lot of people see it as a big problem, not a lot of problem. My English is getting very dumb today. If Engin cares about arm wrestling, he would come on. Like, if Engin comes here and Devon and they not shout at each other, but they can at least talk with each other. But I also think it's a private conversation, because the whole issue is between them. And if there's, it should be a private conversation and shouldn't be in front of the whole world, in my opinion. And already the things that came out shouldn't be discussed. They should have been done privately. It shouldn't ever come out. It got really, really, really ugly. You know, it got really, really ugly. Sweden arm wrestling television. So that was Caleb Williams. Yeah, if Ken cares about arm wrestling, he would come on. Swedish arm wrestling television. This whole message is mentally draining for us all. I just hope that it will be solved, so we all can focus on what truly matters: spreading the gospel of arm wrestling. Yeah, I'm like Neil said, he's tired and bored. Like, this is become nonsense land, and now, like, you know, Wahuid, we love you, Ray. Baltic love, thank you. Kevin, the Baku venue was never confirmed. It was Engin and his manipulation that told the athletes to prepare. He announced a list of matchups when he was not working with the company anymore. So I don't know anything about Baku, but I do know, like, if like he announced it, yes, when he wasn't part of the company. Yeah. What am I missing? I see people. Okay. Dave 68. First, it's Devon is afraid of East arm wrestling. Now he's 12-3. I think you guys keep blaming Devon. Get a life, losers. Yeah, like Devon ducking and Devon, will something, and like it's all just bullshit. Like, he will he will all the time push the boundaries. Who is there for not allowing him to push boundaries? Referees should be there. Referees do their job, and no one and they do it. These are the rules. Follow the rules. Doesn't follow the rules, you get the consequences. It's not that, like, I understand whoever it is. He could be president of the world. But if you don't follow the rules, everyone's gonna see it as unfair. But referees need to do their job. They need to enforce it, and they also need to have a clear understanding of the rules, of what the promotion wants, and then it needs to be, like I said it on my video. I don't know if I can explain it even better at this point. Do you believe the hit put out on Devon was real? No, I don't think so. No. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Athletes will always try to get advantage. Yes. Yes. Just some people, most people, don't push it as far as Devon. And again, like, he won all those matches. If there was no disqualifications, there was nothing. Just to be clear, I'm not on Engin's side, but Devon plays the heel, humiliates his opponents, calls them retards, and then is surprised they don't trust him. So, I don't like it. My personal opinion, I really like Superman Devon when he was the savior, when he was the good guy. But we really have all this attention is because someone is willing to be the bad guy. And if you look at any sports and any leagues, the bad guy gets a lot of eyes on him. Every single time. Every single time. And I think it's really hard to be the bad guy. A lot of people try, just they can't succeed. They just can't succeed. And if like I know Devon, I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I don't think, but he goes in that mind when he does those things. Do I personally like it? How many times do I have to say that no? How many like people are again, they don't understand that you can also, I can understand and yet disagree. I understand, but I don't like it. You know. Pradeep, are you still here? I haven't seen Pradeep in months. Let's get Pradeep on, and maybe let's get Jake on. But I just don't want this to be bashing of Eastern side, because like I think that's not a constructive conversation at all. Let's see, Pradeep, did he send me a message? Probably he did. Okay, let me find, where's that? Again, like the invite is still open. If anyone from East Side like wanna come on, have a conversation, talk about all these issues and all these things. Okay, let's see if Pradeep is on. I'll get Jake on if he wants to come, but probably I won't get Jake and Pradeep at the same time, right? Because that wouldn't be fair. Is Jake still here? Is Jake? Okay, Pradeep is live with Jody. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Hey, today is Sanders Shed's birthday. Happy birthday, Sanders. No written rules, rule set, no rules committee, no independent. There are problems. I think now they have the rules written down. They just put them out, and should have done a long time ago. Yeah. Kaplak, don't believe every word from Devon's mouth. You shouldn't believe it, any word that comes out from anyone's mouth. Most things that people say are what they think, and not everything is true. I also don't know if I'm saying the true things, I'm saying the truth as I feel is right now. If I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. Then I have to, like, okay, that makes point. Yeah, that makes good point. We have Adam Silver, StrengthNet. I started King of the Table to bring people together. It was so amazing when everything started up in 2020. Can we go get back there? Yeah, listen, Larry and Adam doesn't get the credit they deserve. Like when the whole world shut down, yes, arm wrestlers came together and did things, but Larry and Adam, because of his love for arm wrestling, made Dubai an absolute hub of arm wrestling. Everyone was traveling there, they were making videos, so arm wrestling got insane promotion coming from Larry Wheels and Adam. If it wasn't Adam, it wouldn't happen at all. And then it gave us first King of the Table. And a week or 2 weeks later, it gave us first East versus West, unintentionally, because there was an event where Hermes was pulling that mask. So and then because of this, a lot of things happened, and a lot of people really saw an opportunity. And like, if anything, Engin gets full credit for being so obsessed with arm wrestling, where he worked his ass off to make this good. Like, I don't have to agree with everything, but like it's undeniable for anyone. And he didn't do it for the money. He didn't like it. I see it also, those narratives. It's all bullshit. He didn't do it for the money. He just did it because he had an opportunity to do it, and for the love of the sport. First events, I don't know how many, but were fan funding, because the pay-per-views didn't actually work that great at that time, but improved. But then it improved. And I don't remember which event, but then you didn't have to have fan funding, Yeah, what is... I'm live with Jody Williams. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All good. Jake, is Jake on? We'll get Jake, because I wanna hear about his situation. Jake, because of things he posted. And I don't know, like, legally or how you can do it, because I don't know if you can repost something even though, like, someone else did it first, because the video was first on Instagram. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Go back to 2020. If Devon doesn't do King's move around John Berzenk, would pin him. Phoenix scam. First I've been a fan since before Devon was in Armwrestling. Yeah, it's a big mess. I understand everyone has sides, but if you don't pick the side of Armwrestling, you don't care. You just hate. Like, people just hate, and they hate on both sides. They hate on Engin, and they hate on Devon, and they hate on everyone in between, and they hate on me, and they hate on everyone. And I just think it's very kind of counterproductive at this point. Yeah. Ready, bang. Ozzy, are you still there? Text me if you're. He's probably sleeping. Yeah. What did I miss? I don't think I missed anything. Yeah. Why did Devon sell his soul to the devil? Yeah. I didn't read your super chat. Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah, for some reason it goes so. Wait, I can't find it. Okay, I'm gonna go through. Let's see which ones I read. Okay. GB19. Lots of Easterners are upset with refs with matches where Devon was not their opponent. So why the anger is 100% on Devon, or they like Engin to be there? That's a good question. Yes, because it wasn't just the matches that Devon. I think refs need improvement. Reffing needs improvement, and I think it's not a hard fix. They're good referees. They are just not making consistent calls. Like, I know them all personally. I'm very good with them. I respect them. I think they're doing an amazing job. Referee's job is extremely hard. Everyone who puts themselves to be a referee is already, I would say, a hero in my book, because you will eat a lot of shit for everything you do. Doesn't matter what you do, from fans, from athletes, from everyone. And they are like really tough to be a referee. Let's say it like this. But I also think if you're there, there's ways to improve. But I also think it's management's issue, where management have to tell exactly what they have to do in writing, because then there's no ups and downs in writing, and that's it. Swiss Arm Sport Federation, East versus West will fall. Everyone is just focusing on this circus, and okay, well, I just lost it. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I missed a bunch of super chats. For some reason, this doesn't. I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is terrible. I don't know why. Okay, Swiss Arm Sport Federation, East versus West will fall. Everyone is just focusing on this circus and fighting each other. Grow up and get back to reality. It needs to become the awesome event it used to be, like it was last year. Yes. I hope it will not fall. I really hope it will not fall. I hope we go back to last year, where we were amazing. Like, sky was the limit. We were talking mainstream, whatever that means. Yeah. Loan, or is it L or E? I don't know at this point. Simple. Yes, Devon manipulates the rules, but only does what he's allowed. If he's crossed the line, ref should say, shut the fuck up and pull. No fear of yelling. Ray said it best, consequences matter. Do something. Yes. And I think give more power to the referees to make decisions. And then if they make bad decisions, You need to do something with that. I think that is like the fixes are not that hard if there's really a problem there, you know. Okay, that's Devon selling his soul. Let me get this straight. Devon didn't sell EVW. He didn't buy EVW, and he wins under all rules. It's got to be Devon's fault. Yeah. Yeah. Stan Scott, you're totally right. I donated to the first few events. There is no way he did it for the money. No, like I like no one will tell me that Engin did it for money. Of course he sold it probably for some good money. That's what you want to do when you sell something, like you build something, and if you sell it, you don't want to be like, oh, like he will be like, take it for free, I just don't want it. No, of course, but that argument that he did it for the money and whatever, like, it's just stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. Yeah. I see Jody Williams is asking me like, no, dude, like I'm, I'm sorry, buddy. I have to stay here. Maybe someone will join. Aaron Gazname, if you went into any comment section prior to this happening, you would see many hateful comments towards Devon and Engin. So then this all started. People already picked their sides. I hate it. Well, people hated it before. They didn't like this. They didn't like that. It's yeah. But it's again, it can be like all the time. Devon versus the world. It will still compete. I absolutely believe Devon will compete at any set of rules if it's at the highest level of competition. Also, EVW needs to protect that. East versus West needs to be highest level of arm wrestling competition. I sometimes I didn't understand what Engin, because Engin always, I said like, I think this is a good match, but he wanted the best people. Like he wanted the absolutely top of the top, that 0.1% of arm wrestlers. There's a lot of guys like I could pick and put in amazing matches, but they are a little bit below that, where you could, they're, and I understand it because it's a showcase of the best we have. It's a showcase of the absolute peak of what we have. And I think that is really, really good. And that thing just needs to continuously grow. It needs to be improved. We need to see where the limits is, and we need to push the limits. Because I am 100% sure at this point, whoever is EVW champion right now is probably the best person. And the guy that can beat him is most likely in East versus West. That's a very cool thing to have. So there's few people that are kind of outliners, but by doing some arm wrestling math, they kind of are not. So EVW has absolutely best athletes there. Absolutely best athletes. So all the arm wrestlers know where to climb is and where they want to go and where they have to do, what they have to do to be there. Rogue Affet, sell, tell me I'm the greatest t-shirt the next tournament and you will be rich. I think someone should copyright it right now. Ryan Allard. Ryan, Ray, you have been a big reason I have become a fan of a sport over the last few years. Keep your head up, things will work themselves out. Everyone involved has some accountability, stay strong, love arm wrestling. Thank you, Ryan. I do hope so. I think there's all the time the people that are most upset with emotional things have the how to say loudest voices in every conversation. So whenever we see something getting discussed, it's most of the time it's just emotional. It's not really based on most things are real. I just hate it because I hate it. He did this, so I don't like it. I don't like Engin for this. I don't like Devon for this. Ray sucks and Neil is stupid. I just had to say it. But the truth is somewhere not there most of the time. It's not at the extremes. That's how I feel it. But yeah, I'm going to thank you guys for super chats. I appreciate it. I bought some attachments from Titan Grip yesterday. I'm from Romania. Can you tell me when the attachments will arrive? I appreciate it. So Titan Grip, we work we have a collaboration. So I'm not the one sending out. They're a German company. I'm here. We just work with each other. They send me stuff. I like their stuff, so I endorse their stuff. So, but I'm not the one doing all those things. I'm actually the one sending you out all the t-shirts. So yeah, if you haven't checked out, I'm very proud we launched our site. Also on the site, we're gonna improve some things. I'm gonna put on some training plans and things like this. And also I think I'm gonna put the free training plan there, because I put it on my old website that I like when I did the channel. And I again, people probably let's see. I'll tell you guys a story. So when I did the channel with Armwrestling, my really fast, what I try to do is push out a lot of training videos. I think at some point I did like 3 training videos in a day, and I just pushed them out. The reason for that was because I prepared a free training plan. I wasn't selling anything at that time. I wasn't doing anything at that time. I just wanted that you have training and you can look at all these videos that I already posted, and they are in your plan. And I pushed it all out. And I put it on a website, the first website we had. It had nothing else. I wasn't selling anything. I was trying to gain something. I was trying to help people. But then at some point there was no reason for me to have that website, so I took it down and actually forgotten about it. And someone actually sent me like, listen, I've been following your plan. Do you think it's been like for 4 years or something? And I was like, wow. I said, I forgot about it. So I have to find it, or I'm going to make some new ones. I'm going to just put it on a shop that you can also just download it for free. And you can, but, stupid story probably. Yeah, we'll see. Again, Matt Rhodes, does Matt Rhodes wants to come on? I can send an invite to Matt. So someone just sent me email. Devon's fault. Here's a summary of my observations and deductions based on all the clips I listened to over the past few weeks. You guys want me to read it? Just like full email. I don't think it's a secret, so I can probably read it. I'm really also like kind of mind blown that some people are so passionate about this. Yeah. Matt, I think you have my WhatsApp or something. Just text me and I'll text you back straight away if you're watching this and you want to join for a little bit. Okay, so there's 13 points. Okay, point number 1. A long-standing conflict has always existed between Devon and Engin. So I think that they have butted heads for forever, because Devon, I think it's also a little bit cultural difference, but arm wrestling cultural difference. I think Engin very well understands everything about American culture and Canadian culture, whatever. It's arm wrestling cultural difference, right? So they probably, because it was rocky. They were not friends. Then they were friends. They were not friends, and then both shared the same goal: to grow sport of arm wrestling. Absolutely. Like both Engin and Devon want arm wrestling to succeed. I feel like they both want arm wrestling to succeed. They each have their strengths. That's number 3. They each have their strengths, but take very different approaches to achieving that goal. That's a good point. Number 4. Devon does everything in his power to push the sport forward, much like Conor McGregor figure. He's a loose cannon, completely unpredictable, and handful to manage during events. That's an amazing point. That's a really good point, right? Number 5. Devon's actions are undeniably beneficial for the promotion and visibility of the sport, but they often come to an expense of other athletes. Exactly. Number 6, Engin tries to keep everyone internally satisfied, but Devon's unpredictable behavior constantly puts him in a tough spot, and it has worn him down. I also think that's a great point. Engin doesn't want to abandon his compatriots. He's a man with a big heart and feels guilty leaving them in this situation. I agree there. I agree there. I think, listen, I'll say we built this before I left and then Engin left. It was different. I do believe it was better. I do believe it was better. 8. In his effort to grow sport, Devon encouraged Robert to acquire EVW and KOTT, using his privileged relationship with him to influence direction. So that is a good kind of point. But yeah, like Robert talked with Devon because they've been friends for forever, and Robert wanted to buy it, and yeah, yeah. I think that's a good point also. From Devon's perspective, Engin's departure is a good thing. They don't operate the same way. And with EVW reaching a new stage, it requires even more promotion and willingness to step outside the box, something Devon excels at. Especially with his strong personal brand. At this point, learning to delegate is crucial, and unfortunately, that's not one of Engin's strengths. That's also a very good point. That's a really good point. Like Yankov. Listen, dude, if you're watching, text something in the comments. Like, it's amazing points. Like, good points. Like, very thought out. Like, I probably don't think like this. Other athletes mostly focus. Number 10. Other athletes mostly focused on their own interests don't see Engin's departure in a positive light, who will now reign in Devon's excess. Other athletes mostly focus on their own interests. I think they definitely think about their own interests, but probably for them it would be better to see, like, if they think the league will stay, EVW will stay, and Engin doesn't have anything else, then it would probably better to stay with the league, yet they left. So they maybe think it's better for their accumulative interest, but it's a good point. Number 12. Okay, number 11. It seems clear that apart from athletes like Devon, most are not being paid well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be leaving in masses like this. No, that is not true. They're being paid really well. Devon has probably been paid more than anyone else. Maybe not even anyone else, but he's been paid way higher than some people that left, for a reason. In my opinion, he still makes most of the money, and whatever he did is he made most money for any arm wrestler ever. Yeah, I think they left. Maybe they thought there'll be different options for them, but it was not bad money. It was really good money compared to arm wrestlers and other promotions. It's insane amounts of money, like insane amounts of money. I would tell you guys some deals that I have been offered when I was like really, But I know most promotions just don't have that money. EVW has, because again, Engin really wanted arm wrestlers to get paid good, to succeed. Whatever you hate on him, he did the best he could for any athlete, and he should be saluted for that. And if we could continue like this, it would be amazing. But then EVW management needs to understand that it's just like self-sustaining science project, nothing else. It may be like I see a potential of EVW, if it does like this and gives a lot of money to athletes, reach epic stages of millions of followers, and then someone comes in with a lot of money and sells it, and then it all will change, and then you make a lot of money with that one investment. That's what I see it. But right now, yeah. If Devon truly wants to prove his point, he should propose a concrete action plan, significantly improve refing, introduce strict consequences for fouls, and implement video reviews. Why? Like, it's not up to Devon to do those things. Good point, but I can suggest those things. Anyone can suggest those things. Someone just needs to take an action on those things. I think it's very easy. It's very easy. If you go to work, right, you get paid. If you don't go to work, no one pays you. So If you go to work and then you skip work, no one's going to pay you for the day you skipped. Right? There's the consequences because you skipped the work. If you go and you make some big mistakes, like I don't know, like whatever your job is, you make a big mistake that costs money, reputation, everything to the company, you should be fined. I think it's not that easy. It's not that hard, in my opinion. That's what she said. Committee. I'm sorry, guys. At this point, probably I just can just out of my nowhere just tell a stupid joke for myself to be funny because it's all sad. Number 13, committees should be established rules, matchmaking, conduct, etc., with at least one representative from the East and West for all league decisions under the supervision of owners. Actions are not beneficial to the organization, could be subject to fine. Perfect, I just said that out before then. Like, this is a great point. I'm gonna send them a message. Great feedback. Love it. Like, really good. Thank you, Jan, if that is your real name. Thank you, Jan, for sending me this. What do you guys think? Really solid points there, Matt Rhodes got tapes for sure. What is I'm missing the chat, so what is going on with Matt Rhodes there? Stupid. Sorry, all the points are stupid or emotional. Really? Right, question. Okay, but wait. Where is that? Sorry, all the points are stupid or emotional. Grow up. How about Eastern Bruins bring some personality and promote and not just be dry popcorn farts? See, that is emotional response. Like, that is emotional response. You just gave me a very good emotional response. Grow up. How about pullers be personality and promote and not be dry popcorn farts and boring? Like, that is emotional. Like, everyone, so then we want everyone to be like Devon. And clearly they don't want to be like that. I think everyone should be whoever they are. Not everyone's not everyone can be that. I absolutely believe it, but we need to keep looking because what happens when Devon leaves? Yeah. Money is the root of many evils. Maybe this is true. Exactly, providing the point. What is Ray put Cyrillic under the message? Maybe they'll actually join. Yeah, I can write, but probably they won't. We can remove this. It's been long. Listen. I didn't wanna be like, I'm not being hostile. I know all these people. I just want to have open conversation where the conversation is about something real, not something made up and something emotional, where we actually can figure something out. Are we moving in the right direction? Are you making the right decisions for the sport and for yourself? I think everything will suffer now until I probably already pissed a bunch of people off, which is fine. Pradeep. Oh, did you just leave Jody? Did you just leave Jody and join me?
I didn't leave him. The show was over. People were asking me over there, but I was like, Jody has invited me for dinner, and I'm having a dinner just because Coach Ray is preparing a more delicious dinner with 1,100 viewers. I cannot tell Jody to just leave me alone. I have to.
I understand it. Hey.
Yeah, but I asked you to join, so maybe I should have joined. I was the one who asked you. Yeah. Do we still have at least 5-10 minutes?
Oh, no problem. I'm gonna be on. I'm in no rush. I was hoping someone will join in.
Yeah. So I've made it, guys. First time on Voice of Armwrestling.
Really, first time?
Yep.
Oh shit, man. Yeah. Oopsie.
So what did you guys discuss? Any important subject that I can talk about?
No one really came on because I said I
saw Devon was there.
Yeah, Devon came on, but he hoped that someone would come in and argue against him, just like okay, you guys left, but why did you leave? and then we can figure things out, right? But no one really did that. And I'm not here to steer more shit. I'm actually trying to calm it down, because if we can talk about it, then we can fucking figure it out, right?
I'm not sure, brother, why is nobody stopping this thing? I think more than Engin or more than Devon, all of the arm wrestlers posting weird stuff about Devon, weird stuff about East versus West, they are damaging the league more than both Engin and Devon combined, in my opinion. Like, I was talking to one of the big organizers, and he was like, "Man, this stuff is never going to be taken seriously by any potential big sponsor. How can they be like, okay, this is a league where even the contracted athletes just they can simply walk away without any consequences or repercussions just because their favorite organization quit the league. Like, that does not look good at all. Why aren't Robert Baxter and Dexter Tan, why aren't they messaging all of the European arm wrestlers who are immediately sharing Engin Terzi's stories about stuff? At least the stuff that is going against East versus West. I'm independent. I'm not involved with East versus West in any kind of shape.
Same. Hey,
What?
same here.
Yeah, and yet you know, brother, how many messages I'm getting. So many messages whenever I upload a video about any of the arm wrestlers. The arm wrestler message me, no, you got this wrong. You shouldn't be saying that. So I'm sure you might be getting twice as many messages as me as soon as you
No,
upload a video.
I when I say something, it's always right, man. No one.
So I get a lot of messages. So if I should be kept in check about what I'm saying about the league, why not the arm wrestlers that literally get paid by the league when they're competing? Stop
agree.
Kalinishenko. Kalinishenko should be stopped. Why does he keep posting weird stuff?
Yeah, can you stop? I think it's we walked past arm wrestling, and now it's becoming like more insult based. This is why I have like in the morning I didn't think of it, but then I saw more and more posts. I read some comments, and I was like we need to talk about it. And yesterday on the fix, Devon said a great point. He's like, what actually did I do? Just tell me what I did, right? And all the things are emotional things. Like he did this in the match, and it's disgusting. And I'm like, agree, but what can we do? What does he do? Because that's what him. If the league says if you do something like this again, we're gonna ban you or whatever, he wouldn't do it, right?
Brother, until yesterday, I didn't have an answer to this question, which Devon was constantly asking on yesterday's fix. What did I do? Tell me, what did I do? But he himself answered that question a few hours ago on his own channel in the 30-minute video which he uploaded. He said when the Morozov versus Kurdecha match was supposed to happen, it was replaced by Morozov versus Kamil. It was like 9 months ago at King of the Table. He was saying in the video that he told Robert that it's not possible for him to work with Engin, so he needs to choose now. It's either me or Engin. And that's the biggest star of the league, almost literally, I would say, threatening the promoter that he's going to quit if Engin isn't kicked out. So that's what Devon did. And Engin is saying, I didn't quit. I was forced to quit. So maybe he was talking about this.
Wait. Did that actually happen? Like, I don't think Devon said.
Maybe I asked the viewers. Maybe I misunderstood about it. It was at around 5 minute 40 seconds mark in Devon's video. He did say in his own video that he told at that event he told Robert that I cannot work with Engin, so you have to decide now.
I
Am
don't
I getting
know.
something wrong? That's what I got from what
I
Devon
think
was saying.
okay, because I haven't heard from Devon saying he will quit if Engin stays. Like I haven't seen that, or even in the private conversations we have had.
Can you?
I
play
can-
a
I
video?
can-
Can you share screen? I can literally tell you the timestamp.
Let's check it. Let's check it. Yeah.
I can tell you the timestamp of that. Where is
Okay.
the message which I sent to my brother? It was at. Just wait a second.
Okay. Okay, that's so.
5:50. So maybe you can start playing at 5:30.
Okay, 5:30. Okay, give me a second. Timeline of relation. Yeah, that's the right video. Okay, let's see. Screen. Okay. Okay, you see it? Should be, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
in my life. Our jobs are very important. I'm very well aware of the characteristics which will make you succeed as a team and will make the team not be able to work. And I told him, I said, this is not going to work. Robert Baxter, such a good guy, said he wanted to continue to try. So I said that I would stick around until he decided one way or another, because I told him, I said, I'd be happy to work with him. I said, but I was pretty much done. Engin and my relationship continued.
So what I'm getting from this is that he said he's happy to work with Robert, but he has to decide one way or other. I'm done with Engin. What does that mean?
I think it was about King of the Table, maybe purchase of King. No, that wasn't an offer yet. So okay, maybe you are right. Maybe you're right. But
I'm about 80% sure that's what Devon meant.
okay. But that was November? No, before November, like
It was
September.
7 months ago, 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
No, 8 or 9 months ago. 9
Yeah.
months ago. Yeah.
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 Okay.
So if let's just assume if it is true, if Devon being the biggest pay-per-view seller,
But
biggest,
he still stayed. But he still stayed.
Yeah, he still stayed.
He still stayed on all those things. He still was here. He didn't. He wasn't saying he's gonna quit after Chicago or something. He was gonna go to Azerbaijan.
But what if, because of what Devon said, Engin was pushed out of the league? Because Robert had to make a choice, and then what if he made a choice that, okay, I'm going to stick with Devon because Devon is going to sell me pay-per-views. We're going to have to, in some way, maybe get rid of Engin Terzi. What would you say? Then would you say Devon has done something?
Yeah. Then of course he helped him on his way out. Yeah.
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 You know, brother, I found a simple, not a complete solution, but a solution that can heal this problem maybe like 10%. A very simple thing. I sent a message to Hermes Gasparini to a similar thing. My request to all of the players and all of the fans and who are the fans of players, my request to all of them is just send your favorite arm wrestler, whoever quit because Engin quit East versus West, just send them a DM, ask them if they don't care about the fans. So they're saying that we're quitting arm wrestling because Engin is not organizing. So what about us fans? We want to see you compete. We don't care if Engin is there or not. We want to see you put your elbow on the pad. Go to East versus West if you respect the fans combined. Of course, any individual fan cannot demand such things, but fans, if they are a combined force, they can literally demand anything and everything. So what if 1,000 people message, 100 people message Hermes Gasparini asking, okay, you quit because Engin quit. Vitali, same thing. You quit because Engin quit. What about us fans? We also pay for the pay-per-views.
Do it right now, guys.
Yeah,
Do it.
just
Bring
whoever
them
your,
back.
yeah,
Bring
whoever
them
your
back.
favorite arm wrestler is, message, not just one arm wrestler, message all of the 14, 15 guys who quit. Tell them, brother, I don't think you care about the fans because you didn't say a thing about competing anywhere else. You just said, I quit because Engin quit. What about us? We want to see you compete. It's not only Engin who made you guys into superstars. You did that, Engin did that, and also the fans did that. Without fans, there is no superstar. No matter how good that guy is. If he does not have fans, he's not a superstar.
I just think it was a perfect storm with Chicago event. It was just what we would call John Berzank, the perfect storm. You know, the things that went down with production, things that went down at the venue, you know, all those things. And then the reffing, you know, has been an issue in my opinion for the last events. It's crazy. And then athletes who are like, well, this is turning to shit. Bye. It's valid, like for me, that is absolutely valid concern, right? You look at, you're like, you know, but blaming Devon for that is kind of crazy. Like that wasn't just weird reffing of Devon's matches, right? So
yeah, and Devon has always tried. I'm not sure how this is a new thing. Devon has always tried to change the rules somehow. The first King of the Table event, or even the second one where he competed, I was literally mad in my videos because the referee was literally asking Devon what the rule should be. And you were there, brother. They were deciding the rules on the go. In the rules meeting, the rules were decided. Okay, this is what he's saying. Is everyone okay with that? I'm like, what kind of serious organization does that? Why does even a rule meeting
That was
exist?
KOTT, right?
King of the table. These arm wrestlers have been arm wrestling for like 20 years. Same for the
Yeah.
referees. They've been reffing for 20 years. Everybody knows what the rules are. Just write them down and give everyone a soft copy or a piece of paper. And these are the rules, and we're done for. Why do we need to have rules meeting? I don't see any other sports doing like
Yes.
a day
Yeah.
before the event, referees explaining the rules to the players.
If there's a change in the rules, you have to explain it. If there's like, but everyone else like King of the Table was a weird one. I'll tell you why. The rules that happened on the first one, they got changed every single time because they were not written down. So every time they changed someone, they interpreted the rules a little bit differently. Or like Bill Collins is refereeing completely different rule set, and then he comes for one event and he's like, what we're doing before, like what was happening, right? And it got lost like crazy because King of Table rules were completely different. And then there was a big mess with the referees trying to figure out the rules. Write them down. If you have them in writing, everyone can take a look at it. They're like, cool, right? And that's it. This is what you cannot do. This is what you can do. Like if there's big changes, just talk about changes, nothing else, right? If you're an arm wrestler, like you used to pulling WAF, you come to EVW, they like refs like, can you tell me how you will give me a go? Is it gonna be don't move, go, or is it gonna be don't move, go? So how it's gonna be, right? Because that's the only issue. And then they're like, what are you gonna call? Is this like my elbow? Like this is no, this is not a foul. Cool. Okay, so if I move a little bit, the jump, fine, but it's not consistent. I see it more and more, not consistent.
Let me ask you one question, brother. What's the point of saying don't move in a referee's grip?
I think it's really stupid.
It's stupid. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
It should be like my honest opinion. So we can say don't move, but don't move should be somewhere in between. Like just for you being ready that the go is coming. For me, that would be just go. As soon as we get on table and refs are checking and one ref is doing this, you know the go is gonna follow. That's it. Because I saw referees on East versus West tournament when they implemented this, treating don't move as ready. So everyone's like, don't move, go. Don't move, go. Right? But it could be like, as soon as I get your shoulders right, I'll be like, don't move, guys. Check. check. And then you just say go. And there's no like, oh, you missed it, but there's going to be go. Because as soon as you do like ready, go, everyone hits on ready.
Yeah, it's like a yellow traffic signal light. Yellow doesn't mean slow down. For most people, it means speed up. They're going to go at that time. So don't move. I don't think it should be there. It makes no sense at all. And also there should be protests, review system, clearly defined review system, which isn't there. Just think about it, how many problems a review system could have solved. Levan going to the stage and giving a slap to Luke on his arm. That wouldn't happen if there was a clear review system. He could just shout, he could just throw his towel, just review it. I don't think it was a pin. And they'll review it. He won't need to go there.
Yeah.
But a review system isn't there.
Pradeep, Adam Silva going to join us. He will tell us what happened with the rules on King of Table.
Yeah, it was a shit show. He cannot explain anything.
We'll see. But yeah, like I think, listen, there should be improvements. And then I think everything's going to be fine. But the most of the things that our athletes are really afraid of, I just don't see them as valid points. I just see them as emotionally based. This is will happen. I know because, and I was like, didn't happen before or did happen before. So what was it? Did Devon cheat on all the matches before or he didn't? What happened?
Yeah.
It's just craziness. It's absolute craziness.
Yeah,
You know?
and also another thing is the referee is telling us that you guys are looking at the pin from a different angle. Either it is slightly downwards or upwards. Then the simple question is, why not have cameras that are also visible to the fans that are exactly at the level of a pin pad? So there won't be any confusion. Even the fans can see if it is a pin or not. And the review system can only work well if they have table cameras involved, like clearly defined camera angles, which they can easily see, so that the TV referee which is there, his main referee or head referee, whatever you want to call him, his job is to just view that footage. He should be aware of all of the camera angles, so that he gives a comment in his mic and an order to just switch to camera 5. He immediately knows camera 5 is that thing.
Yes.
If that happens, then the review won't be taking 5, 6, 10 minutes.
No,
They should
no.
be knowing which camera angle is what number and immediately be switching over to that. So there should be a TV referee for that,
Yeah.
whose job is just to sit on the screen and see if something going. And the review should be taken into account right from the beginning of the round. So if you and I are arm wrestling and the ref gives you a pin at 30 seconds and I don't think it was a pin, I review it. The review should happen right from the grip up, because if there was, let's say, an elbow foul before that on me, then I should get a foul right then and there. Everything and anything that happens after that, it shouldn't be accounted for.
Hey, Adam.
Yo, what's up? Miss me?
I miss you, yeah.
I miss you too, buddy.
Haven't seen you in a
Fucking
while.
sucks, all this shit.
So,
My potty mouth. Sorry, guys.
yeah, he comes in, swears. He's from New
Of
York.
course.
that's fine.
Exactly. How you fucking doing?
Yeah. So tell us what happened with the KOT rules, because I remember the first rules, and then it became something
Yeah.
else.
It did, yeah. So originally, I had written the rules as basically being WAF rules with running fouls, and the way and 3 fouls. The way the running fouls would work is that if there was, a teeny tiniest bobble, maybe that wouldn't be, caught, but anything that was like major movement would be a running foul. If it slipped off of the pad, that would be a stop foul, just for safety reasons. So basically that's what it was. Even little bobbles, actually, we were discussing back and forth whether that would be considered a running foul. And since we were given 3 fouls, it was kind of up in the air. But that final rule set didn't actually get implemented. And the reason is that I happened to fly out to New York to get some shoulder surgery. And Michael and Devon...
Again.
Yes. Well, this is the beginning. This is the beginning, yeah. But interestingly enough, they went ahead and signed contracts and agreed to using WAL, the WAL rules. So I was like, okay, that it kind of messed up everything, because now future KOTs, were they going to use those WAL rules, or what were you going to do? And I didn't want to use the WAL rules. I don't like the auto strap in particular. Mm-hmm. And I don't like the set grip that much. I just feel like, there's too much variability. Like, they'll be like, first of all, if you've ever done a set grip, it's not that easy to close your hand and like miss covering the knuckle and stuff like that.
And it's very easy to pull back.
It's very easy to pull back too. Yes. Yeah. So
you just
I never
keep going. Where did it come from?
Right. Exactly. And then when I tried to get back on track, Bill was involved, and was, Don was like, well, maybe, Bill, since he's, an official, he's a master referee, he should, be more involved. And then it kept changing every iteration, and it was extremely frustrating to me, because we actually had written rules that could have been posted and solidified, but every time there was some issue. And a lot of times, it was like Devon that would come in, to the rules meeting and kind of blow up the rules meeting. I mean, those videos were kind of fun in a way, but also not great. So it was very frustrating to me. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I was thinking that the rules meetings were there just to create controversy and hype before the event. Otherwise, the referees can record a 10-minute video, have a PDF attached to it. These are the rules. Deal with it.
That's right. It was partially also the drama.
Little
hype. I mean,
bringing a little hype. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because Devon's there, and he'll be like,
right. Yeah. exactly. And I wanted to do something about obviously the King's move, because it would drive me crazy when people would just do a King's move. They're under the table, and it's like,
How dare you?
yeah, how dare you? Probably because
Let it
I
be.
have tough time
Let
defeating the
it be.
King's move.
The hater. You probably lost to a King's mover. That's why.
I did. That's right. Exactly.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, when me and Pradeep arm wrestle, Pradeep's probably going to try and do a King's move on me, but I don't know. Are we going to have a match, Pradeep?
I think right-handed you are twice as much strong as me, and left-handed I
Okay.
think since you had a surgery, left-handed I think I got a 50-50
Alright.
shot against you.
All right, we'll do lefty. I'll get out
Because
to India sometime.
your left is like 20% weaker than your right, and my left is 20% stronger than my right, so I think it can be a match.
Okay. All right.
Guys, we're gonna bring WL back so you can arm wrestle.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Wh- wh-
So anyway,
Adam, on all this situation, what's on your mind now?
well, it's just very frustrating because honestly, I have a good relationship with everyone. Have a good relationship with Devon. We're good friends. With Robert and Dexter, I'm friends with them. They're obviously newer friends. Engin, I'm probably one of the very few people that Engin has not yelled at for whatever reason, but we've always gotten along really well. And in all honesty, I see both sides of Engin, and he can be a great guy, and he obviously loves the sport so much and has put a lot of time and energy into it. I just wish we didn't have such a clash of you want to call it clash of egos or whatever, and if we could all just get together for the fucking sport and get over these little, I believe most of these issues are very small. They're very small issues, and they can be resolved. We just need to sit down and come together, take some time to work everything out to everybody's satisfaction. Maybe not everything's going to be perfect for everybody. EVW does have new owners, and they do get obviously a lot of say in maybe making changes to the promotion and stuff like that. But I think we could all do it together. That's just my take. Come together, guys.
Yeah, such a terrible take. Like this unity shit.
I know it's a bunch of bullshit, isn't it? Fuck everybody.
Pick a side. Pick a side right now. Pick a side.
Pick a side. Yeah, I'm trying not to pick any sides because I truly do like everybody and love everybody and do want to bring everybody together. If I could bring everybody together, I would. I've talked with everyone. I've given my take on everything.
Yeah. I will say this one more time. People don't give enough credit to Adam Silver for doing incredible things in arm wrestling. Because he was behind the camera, but he was the guy. Without his love for arm wrestling, most things wouldn't happen. They just wouldn't happen. But it was just like a snowball effect from KOTT 1 to EVW 2.
Yeah,
and then everything that followed afterwards. So one of the people that were very involved and always nice, always cool, picked everyone to arm wrestle, beat up all the bodybuilders.
Right. Oh man, thank you. I appreciate that, Ray. Yeah. I sent that bug to you.
Yeah.
Since you were talking about choosing sides, I try to not take any side in particular. Maybe I've uploaded like 8 videos about this controversial subject. And in one video, I'm addressing the points which Engin made, which I think I agree with. In other one, I'm kind of siding with Devon. And every day I'm getting messages, you hate Devon for no reason. And then 1 hour later, I get messages, you hate Engin for no reason. Yes. And I thought while doing that, I may be like staying friends with both of them, but I made enemies both.
Both
Like
sides,
I supported this guy in this video, Engin, and Devon here, and now they both hate me.
Everybody hates you. Yeah. Right.
Probably the one of the best comments I got was, "You're European, know your place, boy." I was like, "Ooh."
Oh, damn! Really?
Yeah, and I was like, "It's sir to you, bitch."
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
We'll see.
Yeah, those were the days, Ray, when we brought you out to Dubai, trained
Yeah,
Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you ended up being in the first King of the Table.
Yeah. With one of the classic matches of all time, I think, right?
It was. You got lucky. That's what it was.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, it will get ridiculous. I get lucky a lot of times.
You do. Somehow you come back. I don't get it.
I don't get it too. I was actually sitting and thinking, I'm like, is it on purpose? Like, do I do it on, like, at this point, I don't know. It gets freaky at some points, you'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I do want to see the sport expand. That was the whole purpose of King of the Table, was originally to bring more people together. So rather than it being an organization, or I should say a promotion, that would include just the elite level arm wrestlers and it be for arm wrestlers only, I wanted to bring other people in. And that's why I had the idea of, obviously I was working with Larry at the time, who was, notably one of the most influential fitness influencers. And that would bring more people in, because it wasn't just about, if people saw, Ray versus Mindaugas, they may not know you. The Americans may not know you guys that well back in that time. So bringing in an influencer, it's like, oh, I know who Larry Wheels is. Then they start watching and starting to love arm wrestling like we love it, and that just spreads more and more. And I think originally that's how it was working out.
Yes, I think the fan base grew tremendously just because of that. Just because.
I wanted to ask one question to Adam, since you're the technical guy, brother. What's
You
the
can ask
update
two.
on
You can ask two questions.
Yeah. What's the update on table cameras? Because I heard in one of the live streams which Robert and Dexter did together, they said they're thinking about it. So if a referee wants to review a footage, if it was an elbow foul or not, like how many camera angles do we have available to see that? Because sometimes it's literally impossible. They run out of cameras. They cannot see if it was a pin or not, because the referee is blocking one view and we don't have the other camera angle.
So it looks like we may have 4 camera angles. So we've been testing it out a bit. We had a little bit of a struggle, obviously, that last event, but they will have access to up to 8 cameras moving forward. And so we're going to have a system that the referees will have access to. So they'll be able to see all 8 angles at the same time. They'll see all 8 angles at the same time, and then they'll be able to go ahead and select, hey, I want to see camera 4, or I want to see camera 2. So they'll be able to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
You satisfied?
Yep.
More cameras to look at.
We need 20
because in the
cameras.
recent events, it happened twice. There was a review and the referees literally cannot see because there was no camera angle available.
Yes. And
Right,
they were showing
yeah.
also like some completely different angles. I think all that needs like fairer and easier it is for the rules, for the referees. I think a lot of things can be fixed just by referees being trained on this set of rules and being being consistent. 'Cause then like if they make good calls and everything, like I remember like in Tbilisi, Hermes and Michael, and I think it was the last pin. It was the last. I shared this story before when Hermes gave me an absolute death stare, because it was everyone's like looking there, and I look at the camera and I'm like, you can't really spot if there's like from the angle, like I don't know if it's a pin. So probably if they call it a pin, everyone's gonna talk mad shit. We'll talk about this and that and this and that. And I was like, one more time. And it was me and Tino, one more time. And at that time, Hermes turns. Like he was like he comes down in Italian, he's Dio can, you like, and I said, you know, he's like, I know, but still, he got really mad. Because of course you don't want to do it again. Like that was
Of
a
course.
tough
Yeah.
match, right? It
That
a
was
tough match.
for sure.
But if he wouldn't do it again, there would be so much shit talk, so much shit talk. So
Yeah.
there's definitely things to improve, which will make every bit of arm wrestling better. I think the rules and the referees understanding what they need to do. Because I can go through last event and every referee will make a look at the same call and make a different call. Let's say same
Yeah.
action, do a different call, and that's
Sure.
not good.
Yeah.
As a fan, I wanted to ask both of you one question. Who's the person who's updating the scoreboard that is visible to us fans? Who is doing that job?
Okay. So like this last time it was me. I was
Okay.
doing the scoreboard. Yeah. But times before it could be other people. Yeah.
Like
and
other
so
people who those other people, are they
Yes.
arm wrestlers or just staff guys?
So yeah, they generally would be arm wrestlers. But the thing is with the scoring, one, we developed a new system in terms of our back end on how we do the scoring.
Mhm.
And it's still new to everybody, but I'm very good at it right now. But the thing is that sometimes when let's say we're watching the screens and we're like, hey, was that a foul? And we don't hear. So we are basically considering giving the referee, the head referee, a earpiece so that he can relay what that call was, or we can ask him, hey, was that a foul? Tell me, is that a foul? Is that a pin? What is it? So that we're not trying to figure out, because maybe we don't see exactly what happened on the screen. And so it's irritating that we don't have access to
And
ask.
refs also
You know?
don't sometimes they will kind of show it, and if the camera is on something else, you don't see it, right?
I don't see the call. What was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
In King of Table and also on EVW, what I used to do when we were commentating, I would call out everything that happens. If there was a
Yeah.
foul, and I would say so. So actually, there's one foul, so I know the guys in production, they hear it and they fix it. If you notice, every
Right.
single time I try to call out everything, so they got the correct information. I used to run and ask referees like, what was the call? Because
Yeah.
sometimes they will come out and they will show something, but the camera right now is showing the corner, right?
Yeah.
I think that could also be fixed with the mic on the main ref, and main ref comes out and like, what we reviewed, one elbow foul, whatever, right? Everyone here
Yeah.
heard, like in a hockey game or any other sport, where it's
I don't know if you guys remember, but at EVW events, I actually used to stand on the stage, and I was actually relaying calls to Zeynep to, hey, that was a foul, or that was
yes,
yeah.
yeah,
That worked out great, actually.
Yeah. yes,
Yeah.
but yeah, I know, like we had different methods for achieving that, because sometimes the
Yeah.
people, even though they know, if they understand it,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
not communicated, and communication is very important. Yeah.
Of course.
So-
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
sometimes people have a debate about, in an arm wrestling organization, what jobs can be done by non-arm wrestlers, and I would say that scorekeeping is the last one of them. You can have
Yeah.
a non-arm wrestler watch matches of two athletes, and maybe he can come to a conclusion that, yeah, these two can be a good match, and he might be right 30% of the time. But there's not a
Yeah.
single non-arm wrestler in this world who doesn't watch arm wrestling, who can see the matches, listen to referees, and maintain a scoreboard. You absolutely need a arm wrestler for that. And a
Yeah.
commentator's biggest nightmare, and Ray, you must have seen that, is a incorrect scorecard. Like, what do we say now? We know it's one foul, but it's not showing up there. What do
Yes.
we say now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that when I commentated for Pro Punja League. It was on television, Sony Sports, like the biggest sports channel in India. So, and there were many times like that, and my co-commentator he kept on like tapping on my knees, like, why are you saying one foul? There is no foul
That's
on the
incorrect.
scorecard.
That's
And I was
just
like,
incorrect.
"Yeah, that's incorrect." I'll say
Yeah.
whatever I believe is correct. I'll not even look at the scorecard anymore. So that's a big
yeah.
problem, especially for the commentators.
Right. Yeah.
I think yes. The refs and sometimes we don't see the calls and then it's just wrong and sometimes something happens and sometimes after reviews, like again, if the camera or refs just they come back and they'll call, like it needs to be like, this is why we have all the signs that you see, all the things that are happening. You need to be very clear about them, like show them literally 3 times. That's what I show, because then
Yeah.
people in audience that are arm wrestlers, they don't have to hear it, they can just see it. And then like,
See
this
it,
is what and then it just needs to be clearly communicated. And sometimes it is an issue, it is a real issue.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some
If the referees are more vocal, with they are mic'd up so that people can hear them clearly every time. I'm not seen that yet, but if they even explain the fouls, like one foul, Devon elbow off the back of the pad, or as soon as it happens, one foul, elbow, you lifted your elbow. So
They
it becomes
usually
much more, much more. I saw that at Knuckles Up. Both of the female referees, they were really vocal, and it becomes really, really easy for the fans to understand what is going on. And the referees also remember that yes, we just said that one foul on this guy, so the Alex versus Devon situation doesn't happen.
That's crazy. I was okay. I was watching it and I was like, then I had to go back I rewatched it and I was like, just one foul. I was like, one foul. Like, where did the second one come from?
Right.
It was like, and I was like, maybe I didn't see it on a screen and he showed, but I was like, it was coincidental all the time. And I was like, this will probably get some blowback later. Alex called me next Tuesday. That's when he's like, oh shit, I did actually lose.
Right.
Crazy. I want to read some super chats, guys, before we move forward.
Go for it.
Some farm kid athletes from East, especially in fighting sports, are famous for saying awful things about their opponents, and nobody cries about it. If you're trying to be the best in the world, you need thick skin. Just say go. Ken being 8, does anyone remember Devon giving Bart hard time at WL? He has never stopped fighting and looking for the advantage. Yes, we all know it. Like is it a secret if you expect Devon to do something like this? It's not a secret, and it's kind of expected thing. That's why you tune in, because it's Devon Larratt's match, right? Like I'm not surprised that any of those things is Devon trying to get every single advantage he can get.
Yeah. And about the rule changes, I would like to say one thing. I said it in my video too. So to those who are saying that Devon is trying to change the rules, that's why he's a bad person, my answer is, I don't even arm wrestle and I try to change the rules. I keep suggesting new rules to the organizers every time I possibly can. So I am trying to change the rules. The fans are trying to change the rules. So why wouldn't an active arm wrestler try to change the rules? It's his job to do that. Then it's the organizers, the owner's job to take that into consideration. If they think it's a valid argument, then discuss that with other athletes, maybe even discuss that with the fans, the referees, everyone, and then come to a decision after combining all of these discussions. So it's nothing wrong with Devon suggesting rule changes. Of course, he's going to do that. Everyone does that. Who hasn't really suggested rule changes? Every person does that.
I do it every day. Every day. Usually after my matches, I'll be like,
right, yeah.
7 fouls. Can we do 7 fouls? Can let's say you start one round like this, and I start one round like this. Maybe no.
Right.
No. Okay. What if my elbow is on the pad but yours is not? I don't know. Let's think about I think
Adam, one more suggestion I have, and I talked about it previously as well, and I did see that being implemented in one of the events. I'm not sure if it was East versus West or King of the Table. A countdown clock which is visible to the viewers, and also because it creates it creates that extra suspense around the event. Okay, now this guy is tired and he only has like 15 seconds to go, and the referee is already telling him, and then maybe there can be a bell that rings as well. It happened in WL. Maybe it was like audio that was edited afterwards. I'm not sure if the bell was ringing there.
We had the timer switch to red when it was like the last 8 seconds to go. But luckily, most of the athletes in this last event didn't have an issue, including LeBron.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There was enough oxygen in Canada, in Chicago.
Yeah,
He
there
didn't.
was.
We
Chicago,
don't know. We
yeah.
don't know. The matches never got stopped. So if Levan got stopped again for 2 minutes, maybe the oxygen was less
Right.
again.
Yeah.
He's not human. Like I feel like he's not
He's
human.
not.
I
He
looked
was
at
just so
Hermes
strong.
and I thought Hermes was like so prepared. Like
Yeah.
he put on so many things. I was like, this is good. This is really good. If it goes a
Yeah.
little bit, 'cause he stopped him for nothing. Like nothing. Like, and it's that kind of loss where you go home and you're like, "Pff," like I couldn't do nothing, you know. So there's
Yeah.
no real sitting down and thinking about it. You're like, damn, that's it.
Yeah. Right.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Neil pick up here. I asked Neil if he.
Yeah. And he was on there.
Yeah.
He agrees with the earpiece thing, I think, for the referees. There's got to be
Earpiece.
some way to, confirm everything. So
Yes. Yes. It should be like because it should be between the scorekeeping, between the commentary, athletes, and there should be good communication so everything is clear and for the audience because then it ties together for the audience as well.
that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And then-
we all knew that Engin's lane is, or at least it was, matchmaking and a bunch of other things. But how many matches are going to be on a card? Is that also covered in Engin's lane, or can Robert or anyone else decide that?
That I'm not sure of 100%, but I would say that Engin gets a choice in that, but ultimately I would think Robert and Dexter, or Robert at least, would be the one that
Because-
says this is going to be how many matches there are. But
Yeah, I think they wanted to cut down the time. That was very important because we went from
Yeah.
16 to 12, right?
yeah,
Robert keeps on saying every time I hear him that we need to be under 3 hours if we want to go mainstream, and yet there are 12 matches. How are we going to be under 3 hours with 12 matches and a
yeah,
1 hour power
I
break
think
between that?
one of the things that they will implement is there's going to be prelims that will be either free or will not like count as a part of the main card. But prelims are
Right.
still prelims, right? So
Yep.
you will have a main card, and main card will probably do those 3 hours, which is I don't know, like in 3 hours, 8 matches realistically.
8 matches
right?
would be
8
good.
matches should be somewhere
Yeah.
like there. So I think that kind of works out. And then in my personal opinion, I think that would be great for especially the athletes that are coming into league. You have incredible exposure. Let's say it's free on YouTube or whatever. That would be just amazing. But not everyone thinks like it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I do feel like if you had 2 or 3 free matches, I think that would be a good deal.
Also converts a lot of more.
It converts.
buyers.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because then I think the model should just be copied from the best practices, right?
Sure. Yep.
And best practices UFC, and they have done it many times. So it's either like, what the hell is this?
Get it.
Me leaving the window open. Like best practices like is UFC, and they will do either like free prelims on YouTube or like on Fox or whoever they had like a TV deal.
That's
so
right.
you
Yeah.
can turn on the channel, watch it, and then the fighting stops, and you're like, shit, I want to see more, and then you buy.
That's right.
That's like the trick, right?
That's the
Because
point.
you're other
That's
way
right.
you just left out. You're like, damn it, I can't see it anymore. And plus, it gives for the people that like I know a lot of people still cannot afford it, but it gives them something,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it gives crazy exposure to the athletes. I would think
That's
if
right.
first time they're
It
gonna
is.
go live, it's gonna be hundreds of thousands of views in that hour or 2 hours or how long the prelims will be. I think so. I just have a feeling because even if when they did like the tournament, it still got a bunch of like we hit like at least 80,000 with what we did Atlantic City prelims. Like
Right.
an hour.
Yep.
And that was just finals and things like this, right? But if you give them already real matches there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
at the time.
Look, even so it was Joseph and Kevin. They're good friends of mine, and I created that match for them for that King of the Table 13 in Atlantic City. That could have been one of the free matches,
Yes,
and
it
it
would
was
have been-
exciting,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's been great.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my take.
My take too.
And in that case, when people say that Schoolboy is not good enough to be on a East versus West card, he's not a world champion, Ryan Bowen is not good enough to be on a card, then okay, those guys can be on the undercard if it's possible.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and
but-
especially the guys that have an audience built around them. If they are on the undercard, then the pay-per-view sales can also go up. Engin used to say every time that most of the pay-per-view sales are happening right at the last moment.
hour before.
So so having free
that's
matches around that time can boost it up even more.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
so. KOTT was still, if KOTT is still in the play, I don't know if it is, but they should use it for more like fun matches, like it always was.
Exactly.
But it
Yes.
still should be the highest level. You can mix those things together.
That's right.
You can keep EVW
Yes.
there. My suggestion is, and it doesn't matter who it is, but if you put on prelims like UFC usually does, so either you're gonna put someone who's not the highest ranking guy, or you're gonna put someone that just coming into the league because they're new to that league. They have no achievements in that league, so you can put them on a prelims to build themselves up. And we have the technical director going absolutely sideways. Neil Pickle.
Hey, Neil, if you wanted to go that way, then you would have to go back out and come back in.
Yeah. This is
Right.
amazing.
Rotation,
This is amazing.
screen rotation is on.
Yeah.
Are we live?
No, we're
Yeah,
not
we're
live.
like,
This is actually pre-recorded. This is pre-recorded, guys.
nobody's gonna see this.
I'm gonna read some super chats and then we can ask some Neil questions.
No problem,
John
I'm asleep
Augustine,
anyway.
just want to say that it's good to see Adam again. You, Larry, and Matt Rhodes don't get enough credit for you all done to help grow the sport. Also, the three of you have good chemistry together.
Thank you.
Yes, Neil wasn't here. Now the chemistry is gone.
Yeah, he ruined everything.
Chemistry.
Now we have to speak proper.
That's what my wife says when I'm with your mum.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's a good one. I like that
Quite
one.
early
I'm
one.
going to use that
Pradeep's
one.
not used to this shit. Pradeep's like, wait a minute, Neil, I'm a professional. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Jack
Listen,
Stover,
Pradeep, don't worry.
no
So we
need
roll.
for pay-per-view rules meeting with refs. Waste of time. Okay, Neil. So
Good evening.
I'll tell you what happened. So I woke
Okay.
up this morning and I read comments and I saw what's going on, and I feel like after our conversation yesterday when Devon said like, what did I actually do? No one was answering that question, yet everyone's attacking him. So I said alive. I thought Kalina would come on, but Kalina literally, he went through the questions and he's like, listen, I know they're not good enough for me. They're more emotionally based than factually based. And he's like, I'm going to jump out. So I kept an open invite and we've been live for like 2 hours. So, you know.
Jeez, you've been live for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Devon was on for like 30 minutes.
Henry Naring? What are you going to do? Like, clock out in 11 hours?
Yeah. I have a tendency. I'll just sleep. I'll just leave it on while I sleep and snore.
Suppose the arm wrestler gets a sniff of this, he'll go live for 3 weeks. Then stop.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
So what's the aim of it? The aim of the live is what, mate? What's your objective? What are you going on?
I thought someone would come in, so either they and Devon would be here, and they because Devon left because no one's here. You guys don't count as no one, but you know what I mean. No one against him, so no one was giving him like from the people that left. Like I left, or I left EVW, or I made this stance because of this. And that would be like either it's valid, or it's not. So none of those things happen. So probably that should said everything because I've
only caught bits of the show because I've been on other stuff. So I've had you guys running, and I've not caught a lot of it. I've been in and out and in and out and in and out. But yeah, if it was me, if I had my choice, I'd like to see EVW put out. In fact, I'd like to see EVW and Engin because my understanding is that they're the guys that are having discussion. Devon, as I understand it, Devon is not actually in those discussions. That's my genuine understanding of things from speaking to Devon. There are conversations taking place between EVW, Adam, you may know more, and Engin. May have been concluded, may have not in the last couple of days, but I would like to see the whole thing get paused or, to be honest, iced, because there's only so long you can go around the houses. And my honest opinion, nobody's really benefiting here now. It's just got.
Yeah.
I get it, drama for views, great for a time. There may even be some benefit in that, But once you get to a certain point, to me, it becomes pretty boring, pretty tedious. There's nothing really coming out of it. It's the same stuff hashed over. And I think at some point we need to come up and start actually doing some frigging arm wrestling competitions. That will be my thing. So I really do believe
that's
that,
crazy. What do you mean arm wrestling? Come on,
crazy shit.
Yeah, call me old-fashioned, but I just think the Azerbaijan event, for example, if that's going to go ahead, then you've got to get a situation where they crack on, because it was supposed to be the 2nd of August. It's not. Yeah. It's not long ago. Yeah. If it's going ahead, I don't know. As I say, maybe they're not going ahead with that. I really don't know. But if they are, they need to draw a line under it for now, put a statement out to people so everybody sort of gets the message that we've talked it to death at this point. We're now going to draw a line under it, leave it there, and then we'll see what happens.
So Elmar Alakberov, Elmar, the guy who's organizing the Azerbaijan event, or was supposed to organize, he kind of made a response video to Devon. So Devon talked about not having the confirmation of hotel rooms, good Wi-Fi, and a bunch of other things. So he discussed specifically those things. He just uploaded a video maybe 3-4 hours ago on his Instagram that all of these things are available, but they were not publicly announced. They are available, confirmed since many days, but they were not publicly announced for some other reason that I'm not going to talk about here. So what's going on? And my question is, why is Elmar announcing these things? Why aren't we hearing that from Robert or Dexter Tan?
My question is okay, let's say he confirmed this, right? So where is Devon getting the information? Is this information going to Robert? Because Devon cannot get it from any other source than Robert. So is Elmar telling that everything is ready, or do we think that Robert is telling Devon that nothing is ready?
He didn't even tag Robert in that story. He just tagged Hermes Gasparini for whatever reason. What does Hermes have to do with that? He's not even competing there. Come on, guys. We need to hear something official from Dexter, if not Robert.
I personally would imagine you will when there's something confirmed. I think. I kind of disagree with that to some extent, Pradeep, in that any other organisation of any scale that I've ever seen in any sport will only announce things when they've actually got something concrete to announce.
But then
the fact that if you take UFC, for example, which I follow closely, and you've got the big fight between John Jones and Tom Aspinall, the thing's going crazy. Everybody's saying this, saying that, saying the other. John Jones is saying one thing, Aspinall's saying another thing, and the fans and the chat forums are going crazy. But you don't hear anything back official from the UFC until it's either nailed or not.
So are we saying that whatever Elmer, the guy who's supposed to be organizing this event, whatever he's saying is not official and we shouldn't believe?
Well, he's not organising the event. He's organised the venue. So he's collaborating. Right. He's not organising the event. And there's a lot of things that are going on agreements between EVW and Engin.
Public statement. Why is he making a public statement about something that should be between them, or
Correct. This is where we differ at the moment. Arm wrestling is in a situation where a lot of this stuff is being played out in the public gaze, which is very unusual.
It's very unusual.
You would just not see that. It's actually unprofessional. You just simply would not see that in a lot of other cases. And to be honest, you shouldn't. And the reason why you shouldn't is exactly what we are seeing now. You have a tremendous amount of people taking a little bit of information and drawing conclusions based upon that, when the truth is not actually that. You're seeing a snapshot of things and you end up running with it. And that is very dangerous. It's very detrimental. It's not a good idea. And a lot of the details that are the truth, for a myriad of reasons, a plethora of reasons, probably will never be discussed because some of it is respect, protection of the people that are involved, privacy laws, because this is obviously, there's money change hands, it's an ownership agreement, there's contracts. It's not public forum stuff. And it wouldn't be in any other realm. So it's kind of weird that we expect that and demand that. I personally think it's quite unusual. Yeah. I really do.
I agree.
Yeah, at this point, I think Robert should be maybe messaging all of these arm wrestlers, guys, stop posting stuff on your Instagram. Stop. It's going against us, especially to all of the European arm wrestlers like Kalinishenko. And even Vitaly Laletin saying publicly that he's not going to compete. Like, he's a contracted athlete. I don't think he's supposed to be saying that he's not going to compete if Engin is
Mate,
not
They think there is no consequences.
Well,
I'm
pretty sure those conversations, guys, are happening. I put a lot of money on those conversations are happening. The fact that they're not happening in the public gaze, I think it's a positive thing, actually. But I can't one thing I know about Robert Baxter, the man is an absolute workhorse. He doesn't bloody sleep. I have messages from Robert at all hours, and I know that when I've tracked it, the guy's clearly not slept more than 3 hours because I've got a message at that time and a message at that time. Lengthy message. The guy clearly hasn't slept for more than 3 hours, obviously. And I've had that happen, as I'm sure you guys have, certainly Ray and Adam. And the guy is taking very little sleep and working extremely hard. To be fair to Engin and Devon, the same in many ways. And I think it's probably occupied an enormous amount of time. And there's an enormous amount of frustration. And one thing I found personally, and this is just personally, one thing I found personally a little bit, what's the right word, maybe troubling, is that Devon, who is a very good friend of mine, is a pretty stoic individual, doesn't know, pretty unflappable lad, for obvious reasons. And last night on the fix, even Dev seemed to be getting weathered by it.
Yeah.
Seemed to be, showing signs of just being genuinely sick of it, you know what I mean? I spoke to Engin personally maybe a week ago or so, the last time before I went down to the Royal Albert Hall. And Engin looked tired. He looked weathered. The same with Robert. And it's when you, and all these guys, you look at them and you think,
I'm growing
what
a
is
beard.
the actual benefit you're getting here? Is there any?
Beard. That should say everything.
Sorry, Ray, say again, mate.
I'm growing a beard.
I mean, holy God. I mean, wow.
Guys, this is like 1 minute till midnight, just so everyone knows. Threat level, 1 minute to midnight.
Mate, this kind of stress carries on for you. In 6 months, you look like Michael Todd. Yeah. Not good.
Right.
But listen, I don't know. That's just me. I mean, you know. So looking at it from a different perspective, Pradeep, obviously, for you, mate, it could be golden era in some respects because you're putting stuff out there and you need content and you're keeping the fans churning with the Arm Wrestling News channel. So this kind of thing can be excellent. But even then, there has to be a balanced perception and a little bit of perspective put on this, because if it becomes detrimental to what I consider to be the biggest promotion, certainly in the last decade or so, and it starts to put the brakes on everything, that's negative. And it's negative for Arm Wrestling News, and it's negative for Arm Wrestling fans. And ultimately, when you look at what we're discussing, there's some things of importance there, and then there's a tremendous amount of myth and legend and nothingness, really.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree or not, guys?
I agree.
I've said it multiple times. Like, the ideal situation here would be nobody says anything. Robert controls everything. He tells everyone, including Engin and Devon, to not speak about this subject at all. We don't want to hear it. Me being a YouTuber, if Engin uploads a video, if Devon uploads a 30-minute video, Engin responds to that, of course I'm going to talk about it. People are telling me that why would you talk about it? Why would you hype up the controversy even more? And then I'm like, tell that to Devon, tell that to Engin. They're talking about it. It's not my job to care about it afterwards if they don't care about it. So if they want to keep it public, that's the best decision. But you cannot expect from me that they're and the other side, that people telling me I only have half side of the story. Personally, I've talked with Engin for maybe like a couple of hours in the past week about this subject. So I don't think I only have like a little bit of a story. I know most of the things now. But then, if
Well,
Neil,
you've
if
got a
Neil,
perspective on it.
Just
You've got a
let me finish.
perspective on it, same as you
Yeah.
would have if you'd spoke to Devon.
Yeah.
Because one thing's become very clear from speaking to these guys at length is they are on very different pages, and it's kind of like the cinema analogy I used. You know, they both seen the same film, but they saw it very fucking differently. You know what I mean? It was the same film, but when they came out of that room, one had one perspective, one had the other. Yet we've all seen the events take place.
Yeah, I have a question for all of you, and especially for Neil. So, if there's a conversation about people like me or some other guys discussing this subject with only half information or maybe even misinformation about some subject, but then I'm going to say if Engin or Devon or Robert, they intentionally, because of some reasons which Neil mentioned earlier, privacy laws and respect for each other, if they decide to keep a bunch of stuff private and make half of the other stuff, remaining stuff, public, then of course we are only going to talk about half of the other stuff. Then you cannot blame us for not knowing the stuff that you intentionally kept private. How am I responsible for that? If you're deciding that these things should be private, we're not going to talk
You're
about
asking
that.
me that?
Yeah. So we're only discussing
I wonder where I
whatever
actually
is made
said that,
public.
really.
Whatever the organizers decide to make public through their videos, of course we are only going to discuss that. How can anyone say that you don't know the other half of this, which we chose to hide from you, so you cannot talk about it?
I mean, I've never said that.
I'm not saying. I just wanted your opinion on this. I'm not saying you said
Oh,
that.
excuse me. Okay,
Yeah,
apologies
yeah.
for my misunderstanding. Yeah, I agree. If I agree entirely, there is danger. I mean, everything I said a moment ago leads back to this. There is a tremendous amount of damage that can be done by a small amount of information being fed into the public forum, and then allowing people to
Just run with it.
lead off into whatever their own personal bias and emotional leaning is. Because people are looking for answers. You don't get answers through that. You get actually more chaos. Yeah. So it would be better to rectify and resolve the situation behind closed doors to some extent. Things like this will often come out. There will be truth on it. But whose truth? Yours or mine? But as I say, I consider myself friends with all the people that are involved in these discussions, and they are massively, massively, massively different people. You couldn't really, as I said the other day, with Devon and Engin are oil and water, and they are.
Yeah.
And the point, which I think both men probably agree with, is that they don't have to be friends. They simply don't. What they do have in common is they both, without any question, love the sport of arm wrestling. Yeah. They operate in very different ways. Their control valves are very different in terms of how they operate and how they will proceed. And I think when you get to a situation where inadvertently your natural emotion and defense mechanism is triggered to the point where you do something which is detrimental, then it's negative. I've done it. And I've done it in my time. I've been, on social media. If you put something out there which you may be thinking, and you never get, and when you're pissed off and tired, you never get your full thoughts out there. You never actually get across the reality of the situation, and people don't give a fuck. People don't, you know what I mean? If they already have a bit of a bias leaning, they don't really care, and you won't convince them. In fact, often, if you tell them the absolute stone cold truth, they still won't listen to it. It's the reality. It's the nature of man. So that's why we end up with very complicated situations. But in this scenario, we've got an ongoing feud, which is a lot of the points that Devon made last night. I actually 100% agree with. Where he said, well, what have I actually done here? Well, if the major beef, you've got to follow this through in logical order, right? If the major beef is that there is concern amongst the Eastern Europeans that Devon is going to control the rules of the sport, okay? Now forget influence, forget talking, because you have a loud voice and you have a presence and you have a social media and you've got online trolls. That's an irrelevance. You can't. Let's live in the real world, okay? That will happen. Everybody's going to try and bloody influence things, which are going to assist them to some extent. It's just going to happen. But the reality of the situation is, if the man is not involved with the rules and the making of the rules, then he's not. It either is or is not. That's it. Now, if it is proven to be that he is not involved in that, he's not directly involved in that, then you have dispelled that concern. So at that point, okay, check, move on. All right? Because you can have counter-argument after counter-argument after counter-argument that, well, this guy's influenced it because this guy's influenced because he's friends with this guy. Oh, he was out for a beer last night with that referee, so maybe he's influencing the rules. There's got to be a stop box. You are either one of the people that directly is responsible for that, or you are not. And if that's that kind of thing, the rules are obviously published. Everyone can see them. If there was any really significant issue or wrongdoing within that set of rules, I'm pretty sure that all athletes would have something to say on that. As a former athlete myself, I certainly would have done. And I never met an athlete that wasn't prepared to make a noise and fight the corner on something as significant as of the rules in the sport. Every arm wrestler I've ever met has an opinion on that. They really do. Now, the second one was ownership, wasn't it? Devon was an owner of the league, or trying to buy out the league or something similar. Now, I checked that with Robert Baxter because I wanted to know, basically, what's the situation. I spoke to Devon, took the piss a little bit and said, oh, I understand that you might be an owner. There's rumours flying around on that. And he said, that is not true.
Devon, it's Jody. You know it's Jody. It's not Devon.
Well, look, I wasn't speaking to Jody. I find it probably a bad move to call Devon's business.
Pre-fired, just so you know.
You know? So I called Devon and just said, is that the case? And he said, it is not true. I then spoke to Robert Baxter and I said, is that the case? And Robert said, categorically no, that is not the case. So if you've dispelled the rules thing and you've dispelled the ownership thing, Devon being, if you're one of the guys that's in a situation where you think, okay, well, Devon is a complete dick. He talks to people, but you're the Randy Couture guy. You're the John Brzezinski. You're the person that is culturally against the manner in which Devon conducts himself as a competitor, of which there are a number of people out there that are on that train. That's fine, but we're getting into a different realm there. That's not what we're discussing. Devon is Devon, and he can conduct himself how he conducts himself. John Brzezinski was John, and every other arm wrestling conducts himself whatever way they want to. You know, there has to be a reality check on exactly what we are discussing here and who's responsible for what and what can be governed by the league. You cannot control the manner in which an arm wrestler conducts himself at the table, and also 90% of the people that are interested in talking about this scenario are doing so because of Devon Larratt. He's bringing in, you either love him or you fucking hate him. One of those two things, extremely polarizing. You either are really on board. I get messages daily accusing me of being either I love Devon
or you hate Devon,
or I hate the bastard. And I'm every day I'm getting message after message. If you read the comments from the Fix last night, or I watch this show, and all I can see is you just continually putting across Engin's point. I speak to Engin personally, and Engin says to me, oh yeah, you've got Devon's back. You and Devon are super close. You're like the finger, he's like the thumb. And you'll have this same conversation, whoever you're speaking to. If you try to be neutral and you try to put a balanced perspective, you're automatically perceived as being against the other guy.
What if Neil is the puppet master? He's running everything, causing all the controversies.
I think it all just came out. I think it's Neil pickup. Pradeep made a video. Gather all the facts. Gather all the facts, and you're like,
right.
Yeah, I'm glad that we came on here and that was resolved. It's a good job you pre-set when you think about it, right?
And people are even now talking in the comments saying that I either hate Devon, and I'm also getting all sorts of comments, and yet in the entire
so you're getting the same thing.
Yeah, same thing every day, multiple times.
Interesting.
Like calling me a Devon hater or Engin's fan or Engin hater, Devon's fan. I get the same, the opposite comments every day.
people
for
like
last
to be black and
14
white.
days,
They just
15
like
days.
to be black and white. They can be a little bit gray. They're like, oh no. No. The truth is never.
And let's be honest, depending on what point you're, if I take an honest look at myself and where do I sit on all of these things, I will have leanings on different ways, different points. So if you were to say, okay, if Devon was influencing the rules, would you have a problem with that? Of course, yeah, because there would be a very clear, distinct conflict of interest. I'm an active arm wrestler influencing that to that extent, but he's not. End of. He's not. So it's like saying if my auntie had balls, she'd have been my uncle. She's not.
Would. But she would.
You know what I mean? It's like we've got to have some clarity here.
She would.
Is he doing that or not? Once we've established he's not, well, that's that
man,
one.
you're just a Devon's hater. You're just a Devon hater. All I hear is you're just being a Devon
You know,
hater.
Yeah, I don't see anything, like you mentioned conflict of interest, but everyone tries to do that. I just mentioned on the show before you guys joined, I don't even arm wrestle, and I try to influence the rules whenever I think some rule is going wrong.
Trying to influence, that's a different thing.
But actually doing it.
Yeah.
Actually being involved in the rules.
But Devon isn't the one.
Yes.
Even if he's controlling the rules, still Robert has to approve that. So indirectly, he's still just trying to influence. He cannot change the rules.
Yeah,
by
but I
himself.
don't have a problem. Look. If Devon used to come to the rules meetings, every rule meeting I'd go to, he would be one of the more vocal guys, and I respect that greatly.
Yeah.
For me personally, because I would have been that guy as well, for sure. If you go to a rule, I want to know the rules. People will have been at the rules meeting in Istanbul, and I was at the back of the hall, and they were going through the King's move, and they said, in a neutral or losing position, you will be fouled. They did thank you, and I shouted, "Why neutral?" That was it. Why neutral? And Engin shouted, "Because it is." No, fair enough. Because it is. Because he's deciding the rules. It's his organisation. That's his area. Okay, I've got to abide by that. That's it. Simple as that. But I asked why. What I'm illustrating by that is I want to understand the rules as well. I want to know specifically why. If I was a competitor, I would want to know very specifically what the boundaries I'm working within. I would always have done that. Devon is very much of that ilk, probably even more so. And I know a lot of other arm wrestlers that were the same. But those arm wrestlers that are like that are not necessarily the world's most famous arm wrestler and one of the world's most outspoken arm wrestler. So it goes under the cap. People don't know that. But it's not like Devon's the only guy that's trying to do that. As you said, Pradeep, you try to influence the rules. You're not even a fucking arm wrestler. So everybody, you know what I mean? And there's so many people that are invested in this. The point of difference comes in simply understanding what is the reality of the influence. Trying to make a noise and to get people to do things is one thing. Actually doing it is a very different thing. And that's where the distinction comes. And there has to be a clear distinction. And I believe there is one. So when Devon said last night, what am I actually responsible for? I tend to agree with him. Now, if other evidence came up that, okay, that's not the case, if he was on the rules committee, and if it is a committee, I don't even know who's deciding the rules, but whoever's deciding the rules, if he's part of that and is changing the rules at his behest to suit himself, yeah, then I'd have a problem with that. Yeah, of course I would.
We discussed, Coach Ray and I discussed, we actually played a screen share recording of a video where Devon did say something like that. Our interpretation was, okay, 80% to my knowledge, Devon is saying that. He mentioned that in his own video, which he uploaded yesterday, around 5 minute 50 seconds mark, that he told Robert at one of the King of the Table events, which happened 9 months ago, that you have to make a decision one way or other. It's either me or Neil or Engin Terzi. What would you say to that? Maybe because of that, Engin was pushed out of the organization.
Sorry, mate. Robert would have to make a decision on Devon and Engin Terzi in relation to what? What are we talking about here?
In relation to, like, I can work under you, but not Engin Terzi. You have to decide now. Or maybe my interpretation, and I think Ray also agreed after watching that video, Devon was basically saying that he's going to leave. He's not going to compete if Engin is there.
He did say something on the video like,
well, that's his prerogative, isn't it? He's not an owner.
Yes, and also he's still arm wrestling. Like, that's the thing, right? It's also can be one of those things that people say when they're emotional, and then like,
oh my God, I mean,
but yeah, like
do we really want
if you're really
do we want to take the lid off that box? Because it's not the first time. I mean, do we need to go there?
Yeah.
I mean,
everyone.
Look, it comes back to the old. Where we going? You know,
okay, that's true. Thomas McNeil, thank you. Make arm wrestling great again. That's right.
Make arm wrestling just arm wrestling again for 5 minutes.
I always get this comment. So in which decade or which particular year was arm wrestling great? What are we trying to achieve again?
Such a hater. You're such a Democrat hater. That's all I'm
just
hearing.
asking
Pradeep, you
when was arm
massive
wrestling at its
wanker.
best?
Don't start with your which decade was it great. Arm wrestling's fucking awesome.
2024 was arm wrestling at its best.
Okay, so we're talking about
I love how all the puppies come on and say when arm wrestling was its best with such confidence. You sound like arm wrestling news, you tosser. Listen, Pradeep goes on there every day and lays down the law in biblical sense, like that's it, and that's it. And it's because I said, no, I love that. I love that you got confidence.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it also makes you a dick.
Whatever I think, I'm going to say it with confidence. Why wouldn't I? I don't need a job at East versus West.
No, listen, mate, you're entitled to do it, but the arm wrestling's been great for a hell of a long time. Hell of a long time. It's a fantastic sport. And it's been a great sport for many years. And if this is the first, a lot of the new fans, it's awesome that so many new fans are coming in and they're excited about it right now. And we've all been through that. You start something new and you get in there and you are frigging obsessed. There was a time my wife liked me. She'll tell you otherwise, but that is a kid. I mean, she married me. I mean, who knew? You know what I'm saying? But now ask her. Seriously. When she's there at the night trying to hide the potato peeler, ask her now. You know what I'm saying, Adam?
Yeah.
So
I didn't mean to say that arm wrestling was not great. I'm just trying to, because this comment I've been reading for multiple years. So I'm trying to understand, according to the fans, which year was the best for arm wrestling. Because now I think arm wrestling is the best, apart from this recent controversy, it is the best that it has ever been.
Mate, the arm wrestling, I would agree. And the reason why is because
we just fixed it.
The instant access, isn't it? The internet is responsible for that.
Absolutely.
Because it always makes me laugh when it's like, oh, well, lay that at this door, lay that at this door, and it's all nonsense. The actuality of it is that it's not at one door; it is a perfect storm of opportunity which has pushed the thing forward. A huge amount of different factors have come together and have pushed it forward. And as a community and as a sport, we should take advantage of that. So what do? Oh, mate, I tell you what, fucking hell. And here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Oh.
Ridiculous.
Oh. That is ridiculous.
It is. It's absolutely
Yeah.
pots for rags, mate.
I just
Pots
like.
for rags.
I hope Robert comes out with a statement. We know where everything is moving. At least we know when the next event is gonna. Like, I know Brian Shaw Classic will happen, but it looks like we're on a pause, and I understand, but still, like, there should be some certainty about some things, right? Like, EVW has created such a culture where you just, as an arm wrestling fan, you live from EVW event to EVW event. That's your whole lifespan. You're like, oh, we just finished King of Table 27. Like, okay, what's next? EVW 28. Boom.
Because amidst all this, any organisation, any event, any business has growing pains. It simply does. You start any business and it starts to grow at a pace, it will have growing pains, it will ache, and it will groan at the seams. That is the actuality of anything that you start. Amidst all of this growth, East versus West are changing the dynamic, trying to improve continuously, trying to manage a lot of the things, trying to introduce change. These are massive challenges to overcome. And yet there's a huge impatience. We're talking about a situation where arm wrestling is evolving, is bigger. You go to this 2025, we've seen 2 or 3 events where the crowds have been magnificent. Tbilisi was mega. The last US event was phenomenal in that respect. It's excellent, you know. And the funny thing is, the huge amount of comments that you see, in actuality, are not that huge. I was thinking about this the other day, because a lot of them, and I did a little experiment. I went on, I read some of the comments, you know, and they come from the same section of hardcore Trailblazer fans that spend their day doing that, you know, in between having a wank or whatever else they're doing. But they basically go on there, write a few messages, and that's that. There are huge numbers tuning into some of these things. You know, last night we put the fix on. Bloody thing's done 12,000 views by the morning. You know, some of the stuff that Pradeep's been putting on there, I'm sure has got massive views.
People do love drama.
So how many comments are you look on something that's got, and you think, whoa, that's a shitload of comments. There's 800 comments, maybe even 1,000 comments, and then you think, but over all these videos, you probably got 150,000 comments, 70,000 comments, there or thereabouts. Well, there isn't 70,000. So as with a lot of these things, the silent majority is indeed that. And when I'm walking around the venues and the guys that have paid their hard-earned cash to get to the bloody venue, the amount of positivity in the room is friggin' awesome. And it's those dudes that I love. It's the proper arm wrestlers. They're my peeps. For real. They're my peeps. I love those guys. I love walking down that line and the friggin' thing was boiling over. Everybody, as you walk down the line's like, let's go. They couldn't give a shit about it. They just wanted to get in there. And they erupted every time there was a good match. Alan Ford and Ryan Belanger are beating the piss out of each other, and the rooms go. Think about that. It's Alan Ford and Ryan Belanger. It's not too many necessarily big established names. That frigging room was a cauldron.
Yes.
A cauldron.
Imagine that on prelims.
Yeah. That's the dudes. Those are the dudes. That's my peeps. And I know there's a lot of them out there. And they're hardcore, and they're real arm wrestling fans in them.
I wanna say something because I've been reading chat, and I love how people. One is like, "Oh, Pradeep, he loves Engin," and he's like, "Pradeep loves Devon." It's like it's completely different. The one's like, "Oh, he's all over his dick," and the other one's like, "No, he's trying to suck him." Like. Insanity. It's insanity, right?
You know what I'll say to this? I've seen in the arm wrestling community, and I'll include everyone on this call too about that. I've seen people criticize one side. I've seen people criticize the other side. I've seen people support this side. I've seen people support this side. I've seen people support both parties, Devon and Engin. I'm yet to see someone criticize both sides. And that's the thing that only I have done online out of all of the YouTubers. Criticizing both of them. A lot of people have shown support to both of them, But nobody has said I found faults with whatever Engin said. Like out of the 10 things that he said, these 3 I don't like, I disagree with, and whatever Devon has said, these are the things I don't agree with. Not many people are saying that. So I would think that in an ideal scenario that would make the fans of both parties happy, but in fact it works the opposite way. Both parties get mad at you.
Yeah.
I'm getting messages from
Well,
both
it's
Devon
funny
and Engin.
because
Both from
listen,
Devon and Engin. I'm getting messages saying that, bro, your video
yeah,
didn't have correct facts.
and you'll get people that'll say, "Oh, you're on the fence. You need to pick a side. You need to what? What are you talking about?"
Right.
I'll pick a side.
We are on the
Both,
side of
one in
arm
this video and the other side in this video. I'll pick a side.
Well, you need to pick a side. Why specifically?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, the people that you speak to regularly know your views on stuff. They know. Now, personally, I'm only concerned that the people that I'm speaking to, Robert Baxter, Engin, Devon, Ray, Dexter Tan, and anybody else that I speak to involved in, you know, if they call me, I'll speak to them and I'll tell them my opinions. I'm not necessarily going to go onto a show and tell every opinion online. Why would I do that?
Because your subscribers, your fans want to hear from you, Neil. That's why.
Mate, my subscribers and fans, if they want to hear from me, which I'm proud and happy that they do in that respect, it would be a note of temperance that I am in contact with some of these people, and there's a lot more grey than there is black and white, and there's a lot more misunderstanding and the perception that somebody believes in their heart is really, that's the situation. Actually, it's not. Actually, it's not exactly what they think. The perception is slightly off key. You know what I mean? And that it's funny how you can end up with a result through a myriad of different ways. It doesn't. Not everything is black and white. Not everything is just cut and dry. It simply doesn't work like that. Like I say, we talked about the whole rules perception thing. Now, for me, that is a little bit more cut and dry. If your major concern is that Devon was influencing the rules, once we've established that he isn't, that should be it.
I have a super chat, and from the guy, he sent me an email during this live stream with like 13 points, like what he understands about things. It was really good points. I read the whole points, but he just made another super chat, and he actually sent me another email. I'll read it to you guys because let's see. Oh, someone's been trying to reset my password on Facebook. Interesting. I believe Devon is currently feeling guilty because Robert is caught in the middle of all this, and the company now risk partial collapsing because of him, on top of the broader negative impact this could have on the sport of arm wrestling as whole.
Okay.
Do you think Devon feels bad about that?
I think Devon will feel bad about the fact that this has become such an enormous talking point in the sport of arm wrestling. I think he'll probably feel bad that he's having to spend so much time doing this, and I think I think he'll feel more bad that. I mean, I had a message last night, and it was ripping the piss out of me for something, and said, "You're on Devon's dick," and we all know that Devon's just ducking. He doesn't want to go to Azerbaijan and pull Latin. He's scared of Latin. Right. Devon wants to pull Vitaly Latin really bad. He really does. I know he does. But then forget when all this has been kicking off. He's wanted to pull him for ages. He wants to pull Morozov really bad.
Yeah, he does.
He'd pull Hermes again. He'd pull anybody again. He doesn't actually give a shit about losing. He's lost before. He's not bothered, really. He likes arm wrestling, and he's up for pulling anyone. The guy goes on 11-hour arm wrestling benders around countries where, believe it or not, there's a shitload of good arm wrestlers. And he's the most famous guy in the sport. And now and again, he'll get pinned.
Mm-hmm.
Logan pinned him a couple of weeks ago in an
that's right.
event. Did he care? No. So that kind of comment to me, yeah, it's water off a duck's back. I just don't. You've literally wasted your breath and your time if you've written a message like that to me. What, you think that's going to bother me? Motherfucker, I know him. I'm speaking to it. I can call him at any time and he'll answer. I know him inside out. I've known him 20 odd years.
I think
I gave him the name
sorry.
No Limits. I know the man.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think Devon did care. He talked about the Logan Bittinger loss at least 5-6 times on his channel. He literally, in one of his videos, asked the promoters to set that match up. So how can you say he didn't care about that?
Think about what you just said, Pradeep. You answered your own question, mate. Think about the last bit, what you just said.
He wants a match to set
Yeah,
up the score.
yeah.
Why
So
would
what?
he
He
want a
talks
match
about
if he
it
didn't
2
care?
or 3 times and then asks the promoter to set it up. What happens when he does an arm wrestling match?
He gets paid.
Lovely darts. Now we fucking got there, haven't we?
So it means he does care. It means he does care.
Yeah. So you think? Yeah.
One
No,
way or another-
not care. He doesn't care. He might appear that he does. So he gets himself into a match and earns some money. Now we're getting there. You think he's worried about Logan? Really? I don't.
I don't think so.
No, I'm not trying to say that he's thinking that Logan can legit beat him in a real match, or that was also a real match, but if Logan can beat him in a super match or not, I'm not saying that. Obviously, everyone knows Devon is going to beat him. He like literally beat the number 4 guy in the world, but that doesn't mean that that loss didn't bother him even a slight bit. If you asked him if he could have won that match, he would have liked to win that match.
It's
sure.
it's actually Herman Stevens now that is number 1 in North America, as far as I heard.
What, he has beaten
Really?
Logan?
Yeah, he beat Logan in the tournament.
Okay.
Adam,
Wasn't that left?
I'm
Wasn't
right,
that left?
Yeah,
Left, right? Adam,
I
I'm
thought that
right?
was left. I thought Ryan Bowen won the right
It
arm.
was left.
Left, yeah.
Ryan won the right arm.
Yeah,
Beat
Ryan
Logan
won.
in the final.
That's right. Yep.
I don't think Herman won the left in that tournament.
No, he
I
didn't
think
win.
Herman Stevens won the left, and Ryan
Yes,
Bowen
that's what we're
won the
talking
right.
about.
Okay,
This
he
is
did.
all about
Yeah.
left arm. It's about left arm, Neil.
Mhm.
Left arm.
Yeah.
Logan beat him lefty.
Yeah.
I
He
thought
beat Devon,
Logan
right?
beat Devon both arms. Got a pin on him both arms.
He kind of gave
think
like
so.
there was a big weird thing in there, but he took the first place on left arm. Let's say like this. Left, he, you know.
I think Devon just laid down to someone on the right arm. He didn't lose. Like on
Yeah,
left,
I
he
think-
like legit got pinned, but on the right, I think he laid down.
Yeah, yeah.
I know he's not worried about arm wrestling anybody.
But
The point
you
that I'm
mentioned
making is
a couple of
I do not believe that Devon is concerned about arm wrestling anybody, win or lose. I think if nobody will pull Devon, he'll pull Levon. If Levon said, "I'll pull you," I think Devon will do it. Do I think he can beat Levon? No. And I don't think Devon believes he can beat Levon, but I bet he'd pull him. You know what I mean?
He said it.
I just
He
think
said
he'd do
exactly that just recently. So
Did he? Well, there you
he
go.
did.
I have a super chat from Kevin. Spend more than $600 on KOTT and EVW. There needs to be communication. Euro athletes need to talk and seek out facts instead of being emotional and avoiding these conversations. This was a great opportunity to get on here. Yeah. I legit wanted just to have a discussion. Like all I
Yeah.
wanted is because if any of the points that they're making are valid, maybe Devon will listen up and maybe people will understand it and they will see the perspective. But even if they come and they are just emotionally based and they have no real base on anything, they will understand the flaw in that. So I think it could have been very good, but no one came on. So for me, it just speaks volumes. Probably I'll try to do the same thing tomorrow, just to see if anyone comes on. Tomorrow, same time, guys, I'm going to go live, just so you know.
Who have you spoken to privately, Rolly? Have you spoken to like Hermes privately or any of the lads privately?
Yes, I talked with Hermes today, a few days ago. I talked with Kalina. Kalina was supposed to come on, but he understood. He's like, this is just he's like the arguments are more based on emotions, not facts. He's like, he literally made a story, and he's like, he's gonna make me look like an idiot, and how he said, manipulate me, and he's like, I'm not gonna come on. And I said, cool, no problem. I said, no problem. You know?
Who's going to manipulate who?
Devon will manipulate Kalina.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not confident in himself.
He's not confident in the arguments.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be difficult for Kalina, to be fair, isn't it? Because he's not even speaking his native language. So
Well,
his vocabulary is going to be
he would be
restricted.
speaking, he would be speaking, and I would be translating. But I said also, he's like, probably we're gonna lose some of that. So we talked about it. But the guys, they dislike Devon for the things that Devon does on the table. And I think you can very clearly dislike someone. There's a lot of UFC fighters that people absolutely hate. Some of them think very crazy views. They have crazy views on a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
But they will still fight them, and they will still, like, it's like, why would that matter? No one cares about those things. It's
Right.
if anything, fools you more, like more fuel for you. You feel like it's just it looks bad. I think it looks bad, and these guys, I don't know if they know what they're doing to their careers and to their, I don't know, like characters. I don't know what's the right wording for it, but I just like, listen, like you're trashing the promotion and everything. What if you have to come back to the promotion?
Exactly. Exactly that. That's what
Well,
I'm
I mean,
asking these arm wrestlers.
we're hoping everybody does, aren't we? Let's be
I'm
honest.
hoping too, and I'm hoping they will calm down on good terms and understand. And I also hope everything that they are afraid of will be taken care of. That there's going to be someone in charge of the rules, and they will feel safe. They will not feel cheated, because that's the whole issue. They feel like they will get cheated. And
How much of it do you think is about misunderstanding? So basically, the Eastern Europeans are just misunderstanding the whole track because they've only taken snapshots of the interpretation, and they have an unclear understanding of ownership, control, influence, that kind of stuff. How much do you think's down to that?
A lot.
I don't know how much, but probably to some effort, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
What do you think, Pradeep?
I think a lot, especially when arm wrestlers are saying that, and some people were relating, I read some comments, they were relating this to, well, these arm wrestlers always used to say, even when they were asked, okay, by Coach Ray during the post-match interviews, who do you want to face next? And then they're like, I don't know, whoever Engin tells me to go up against.
Yes.
So now that's the exact thing that's happening right now. Whatever Engin is telling them, that's the whole truth. And that they're saying that, so since Engin is out, we are also out. My question to them was, what happens if Engin never organizes anything in the future? Then you come back to Robert. What if Robert says to you, okay, I thought you were out. You were only going to compete with Engin. What happened then? Are they going to just retire completely if Engin doesn't organize events?
Well, I kind of agree with that sentiment, mate, because one of the things that I wanted to ask them, any of the European guys, and as yet I haven't spoken to them all, obviously, but I'd love to know if there has been some perceived wrongdoing to any of them by Robert and Dexter. You know, and if so, what is it? How do they feel wronged? What's happened? Because as far as I can see, there's always been, and again, if anybody knows more, Adam, Ray, if you know from speaking to them more, then what is it? Is it tangible? Have they actually not been paid or something? I don't know. What is it?
Not that I know of. You know, after Robert's
Kamil
taken
couldn't
over.
say anything. Did you watch Kamil's interview with Aussie arm wrestler? That was one of the worst interviews you're ever going to watch in the history of arm wrestling. Kamil didn't have a single clue what he was saying. Like, he probably lost 50% of his fans because of that interview.
What was his points?
I didn't see it.
Oh,
There
what-
was
excuse
no
me, what
point.
were his
There was
points?
no point. He was saying that the rule changes. They're going to change the rules, and then Ozzy was like, okay, but then Engin was controlling the rules, and all of the problems that you had with the rules were when Engin was organizing and when he was deciding the rules, and yet you're saying we need Engin here because otherwise they're going to change the rules. He didn't have any answer to that. And in my mind, if Aussie arm wrestler can make you look stupid on a show, then you got to rethink a lot of life choices. That shouldn't be happening with anyone.
There's a lot of love between you guys. I see. Yeah. A lot of love.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's just, that remains like a genuine objective for me to understand what exactly
Yeah.
is the problem. Is there something I'm ignorantly missing that has been done to the Eastern Europeans who are deciding that they don't want to pull?
They just for genuine or not so genuine reasons, they just don't like Devon. That's all. I don't think there is any issue with the organization per se. Otherwise, this mutiny kind of thing, whenever anyone says anything against Devon, they immediately within the first 15 minutes, a bunch of arm wrestlers are sharing that on their Instagram stories. That is making the league look terrible. Some of these are contracted athletes. Somebody leaked Devon's like private nude videos or something like that, and Evgeny Prudnik, I heard, was sharing them on his Instagram page. What does that have to do with Prudnik? Why is Prudnik interested in letting people see what Devon does in a
Because it's
hotel
like
bathroom?
it's a personal attack. It's just a
Of course
personal
it is.
attack.
They just don't like Devon. I'm not saying
Yes.
that reasons are genuine or they are not,
No.
but the whole issue is because they don't like Devon.
They just don't like Devon, and that's it. But I also think like doing something like this, there probably will be some repercussions from someone. Like it's
So
very
Yevgeny Prudnik has leaked naked pictures of Devon.
Yeah.
I,
There was a whole post about it. Of course, you all have seen those stories. I am not going to talk about that. So,
Wow.
somebody shared
Adam
that.
Silver was like, I don't.
I'm not even going to. I'm
I
not
don't
even
look
I
going
like
haven't
to
seen
name,
these
I-
pictures yet.
2 minutes. I'll see you
I'm
later.
not even going to name the Instagram page that does that. So I don't want people to go there. So he shared a bunch of stuff, and then there was a whole post about Evgeny Prudnik shouldn't have shared this. Then I went to go to his channel, and then some people commented that later soon he deleted that Instagram post, but it was there.
Thanks,
mean,
Ray.
that's
Come on, man.
ridiculous.
That's clearly an attack against them, and I'm going to just not to offend too many people. I'm not saying if it is like if Devon deserves this or not, but this is just a personal thing against Devon. It is the same for Engin. It is the same for European athletes, and Devon's only issue is with Engin. So all of this controversy, this all of this mess up has happened because people cannot separate their personal life from professional thing. Yeah, we can say that they're saying that Devon is manipulating the rules. That's not personal anymore. That's professional. But other than that, they don't have any other thing to say.
My theory is they don't see it as a professional thing. We created East versus West and all this league. It wasn't meant to be a league. It was just we're gonna do event, then we're gonna do another event. Then slowly Engin introduced championships, created rankings. So it all went slowly. We talk a lot about professionalism. We became that. You look at the first stream or second stream, and then you look at the last stream, it's like night and day. I don't think everyone understands what is actually professionalism.
Yeah, and the same thing, because Neil and Adam were not there when we discussed this. Ask those fans. Every single fan should go to the DMs of these arm wrestlers who are quitting. Ask them, don't you care about us fans? You're quitting because Engin quit. What about us fans? We want to see you compete, so you just care about Engin and you don't give a fuck about what the fans want from you? Has Engin made you? Is he the only person responsible for your success, for your stardom, for your popularity? You've worked for it, Engin has worked for it, and guess who else has worked for it? The fans, they've paid for it. Without the fans, there is no superstar. So all of the fans should be asking these guys in DMs that when you say, I'm not going to compete unless Engin is there, you're basically telling us that you don't care about the fans. because we want to see you compete. I as a fan don't care if you get along with Engin or not, if Devon is trying to change the rules or not. I want to see Ernest Gasparini compete. I don't care about anything else. So
Yeah, I agree, mate.
they don't give.
I have also a theory about that. Again, because not everyone really cares about fans. Not everyone really understands it. A lot of the athletes don't understand what comes with all this. A lot of athletes do understand everything that comes with this, but they don't understand, and they kind of try to avoid the people and try to avoid. It's part of their job now. This is the thing that it became. It is
For sure.
sport, but it is also entertainment. It is you have to go there. You have to shake hands, take pictures. People are fucking excited.
Well, look at every event where we're having to try and media train people and to look. You get it, Ray? Did you get it?
No.
I look like a 2-pounder. That'll have one of your
Yes, I got
cats.
it. Got it.
You get it? I mean, see the size of that moth, right? Then
I would eat it, but I'm on live. I don't want to.
flying across the back of the screen with a cat in its mouth.
Yeah.
But
I told Tina one time I'm going to eat it, and she got really mad.
But yeah,
still ate it.
The amount of time we have to speak to the athletes about that at shows and say, look, yes, you do need to go out, speak to the fans, and to try and promote and promote yourself, promote the event, make it more exciting. And I do think you're onto something there. It definitely hasn't sunk in, and they definitely view it differently. And you can understand that to a degree because they've come up through the WAF system.
Yeah.
And it's extremely regimented and very formal.
Yeah. And they think listen, you go to WF. So, like, let's say you are government subsidized country. You don't have to care about anything. All you have to care is do well.
Win.
Right? So you go there, do well, you come home. You don't have to tell everyone that you won. They already know. The newspapers and the federation told everyone. So you don't have to do this. Oh, you have to do an interview for something cool. I'll sit down and do an interview, right? But they're not expecting this. This is a different thing. We have made fans of arm wrestling. It used to be that only arm wrestlers come and watch the show. It long gone. Every time I'm meeting someone, they'll be like, "Oh, my first time seeing arm wrestling table live." Always.
And it's down to the individual, isn't it, mate? I mean, even there's even across the Eastern Europeans, there's guys that warm to it, and it's not like every Eastern European's Ivan Drago. You've got Carl Weathers dancing in the back, living in America.
I just think it hasn't hit them, Neil. It's not that they don't understand it, that they're not nice. All of them, you're gonna go and shake their hand. They're gonna be nice and they're cool. Everyone's cool in arm wrestling. That's how I feel. But they just don't understand that it's part of the job, and it will make
interestingly,
you better.
Kalina and Prudnik are two of the Eastern Europeans who've embraced that side of it the most.
Yes.
With the whole mafia skit and the song. And I mean, Kalina really tried on that a lot. He comes out with the Charles Bronson look and all of that. And you've got other guys who would do it in a different way, but Gennady Quitvina is much more comfortable with it. Yet you've got some guys that it is just not their character. I mean, one of my favourite arm wrestlers in the world is because of that. I mean, Bet Killy. I absolutely love Bet Killy, but they say it's the quiet ones you got to watch, and he said fuck all in 18 episodes of this promotion. Says nothing, doesn't do anything, doesn't get involved with that, and it's sort of that darkness is part of his appeal. He just doesn't get involved with it. And if you're the type of fan that resonates with, you love him because of that. It's a strange mix.
All we want to see if will Bet Killy smile today? That's all.
Yeah. I was able to break him once. Got him one time.
And at one time he did like this, but he just got something in his nose. I was like, yeah.
I was able to do it with Tom's as well. Yeah.
Now he started smiling.
He started smiling now. Yeah.
Guys,
I think I'm going to jump off, guys, and let you guys crack on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to finish this. I want to thank you guys for joining me. It's very unexpected, 4 people to be here probably, but it's always cool. I think if we can figure this out and the people in charge fucking make some actions, I think people that have control need to take some fucking control. That's it. And then everything else will be just, we'll figure it out. But right now, we don't even have a direction or move. So we don't know. And I'm just getting pissed because people are, you know, I literally think you can't, like, how does Devon's character impact his arm wrestling? I don't care about that. No one should. Right? And that's what they're doing now. Just stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right,
thank
cool.
you. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Pradeep. Easy there, Pradeep. Easy there.
Yeah.
Good to see you, lads. Anyway, hope you're all well and your families are good. Take it easy.
Yeah. You too,
Okay,
buddy.
guys.
See
Thank
you
you,
soon.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. See ya.